Welcome to Car Shopping Insider Strategies. I'm your host. I'm known as Deshone the Auto Advisor. If you have 60 to 90 minutes to spend with us, we're going to talk about how you can make sure you're saving thousands on your next car, not just your next car, but every car you get for the rest of your life. I spent 10 years in the auto industry, 5 with Mercedes, 5 with General Motors, and now we do these streams Monday through Thursday. You can catch us at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and you can get your questions answered live. We do rebroadcast this show for those of you who couldn't make it, or if you want to share this with a friend or family, we'll rebroadcast the show throughout the day. But Monday through Thursday, we are live. You can meet us here to get your questions answered. So I welcome everyone. You're going to hear me talk about the sponsor of our show, which is my digital book. It's my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. We've gotten hundreds of testimonials and we've gotten lots of reviews on this book. People like you using it to get below market purchases, below market leases, below market new cars, all from home. 99% of your transaction should be from home. That's how you put dealers against each other. That's how you see the whole market. The only reason you should be in a dealership is to test drive your cars, is to have your car appraised if you're going to sell it, and to pick up your car if that dealership doesn't deliver. So we're going to get into some serious Q&A. I see we got a lot of people checking in on TikTok. Good to see you, Cindy, Cowboys, Hoop You 42, EJ Mobile. You guys can feel free to start typing your questions. I have my man Dolan in the background moderating, and he's going to bring in all the questions we get so that we can make sure that everyone gets an answer. All right. So feel free to start typing. We do have a welcome special from my new digital book. It's normally $97, but for 30 minutes, you can get yours for $24. That's 75% off because I want you to have this information and I don't want money to be a barrier to you having this information. So you can get yours for $24. If you get to my TikTok bio, the Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, and the Facebook comments before 30 minutes, you got yours for $24. It's worth $97 and more, but $24 is better. I'd love for you to have that special. So feel free to start typing and we'll get to it. Nigel, Kodak, good to see you. Rob, Enrique, this is our Wednesday, May 7th live show. So for those of you who may want to know, are we actually live? I'm going to be saying the dates on the show just so everyone who is live knows that we are live and they can actually type your questions. So while you guys are typing, I want to tell you about this 7-step system that you want to be operating in. You don't want to be out here winging the car buying process anymore, the car shopping process anymore. This is 7 steps. Whether it doesn't matter whether you're a high mileage driver, bad credit person, good credit person, lease person, purchase person. 7 steps. First step is the most important question. How many years are you keeping your next car? This is the most important question because we need to know how are we going to beat depreciation. Depreciation is what we call the unseen expense. If you buy a car today for $40,000, you don't drive the car one single mile. You don't even drive it. Say you don't need it. You park it outside your house for 1 year. $40,000 car. Come back in a year, what's that car worth? Throw some numbers out there. Your brand new car, $40,000. It could be a used car too. You bought the car, you drop it outside your house, you never touched it. Is that car worth $40,000 1 year later? Didn't drive 1 mile. Didn't drive 1 mile. Let's go. Throw some numbers out there. What do you think? What do you think a $40,000 car is worth after 1 year? Let's go. All right. Come on. I know people. Let's get. I sometimes listen. I'm going to say this because y'all know I'm a straight shooter. For those of you who are just new here, I have to let you know, most of the people who have a hard time with us getting to the money, literally getting to the money. It's not a matter of the information. The information's proven. We got thousands of people using it. We got thousands of comments. We got hundreds of testimonials. It's the ability to focus. It is the ability to focus. We live in a world where it is very hard for people to focus, and that is where you lose. So I'm letting you know, when you come here to Car Buying Insider Strategies, you have to lock in. If you're going to be here, if not, you're not going to be able to win. You're not going to be able to use what we teach to literally dominate your car buying processes and have total wins, like Milligan, almost $30,000 off an electric car. Like, Just Ralph saving $5,000 off his brand new 2025s. He bought 2 of them. Dealerships dropped the price. The moment they came out, he got them back in December. They dropped the price on both of them over $5,000. Like, these are brand new high demand cars. You're going to see me share a bunch of people that like, whoa, those results look amazing. And these people are telling you they'll never buy a car any other way except the Cars from Home way with bids. But they focused. Whenever they met me on a video, social media video, hopped on a live, you have to focus, okay? And that's how you're going to win here. So let me talk to the focus people. I see you, KSA. I see you, Nisi, on Instagram. All right, I see you, John. We got you on YouTube. Jay, we got your question coming. So that's the depreciation. If you buy a car for 40, your car is worth 30 a year later. It's worth 35 a year later. Even if you didn't touch it, you didn't drive it, you just literally parked it outside your house. So that means our cars are losing value daily, whether we drive them or not. So the reason why the most important question is our first question: how many years will we keep this next car? Because we need to determine, are we going to beat depreciation with a short-term lease, 3 years, or are we going to beat depreciation with long-term ownership? Well, thank you, Will Rosa. Shout out to the people liking the show. If you are a long-term person, that's where we are purchasing. So that's step 1 in the process. Before you think about, Deshaun, what about my old car? I need to trade that. Nope, you're going to see we don't trade, we sell. But before you think about, Deshaun, I want this car. How do I get the best price on that? Before I think about anything, we are thinking about how are we going to beat the unseen expense, depreciation, because that is what most people overlook, and depreciation kills them, and they don't realize how much depreciation has killed them until they come years later to try to replace their car, and they're like, wow, that's all my old car is worth? Who's had that happen? Who understands that every time you have gone to replace your old car, if you replaced it in 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, besides the pandemic, when every single car was worth $7,000 more than what it was really worth, so you could buy anything and you could win. Besides those times, isn't it more likely that you went to replace your car and you're like, whoa, that's all this car is worth? Man, that's all you're giving me? Because the depreciation has really, really set in, and we have not held the car long enough to have that win. So that's why this is the most important question. Then we move to equity assessment, where we get bids. Then we move to deal structure, where we structure, what does a great deal look like? What does it look like if I lease this vehicle and it's a great deal? Not these bad deals I see on commercials. What does it look like for me to budget and make sure when I go shop, I'm not going over my budget? In fact, I want to shop way below my budget. That's what we do in step 3. Takes us about 10 minutes. Then we move to shopping. This is the fun part. And I want y'all to understand something. Shopping is deciding what you want. It's not buying it. It's not buying it. Shopping is deciding what you want. Okay? And what we tend to do is we mix shopping with buying. When I was in the dealership, I would have people, man, Deshaun, I don't know how I ended up with a car. I just went to Home Depot. I was going to Home Depot. I said, let me stop by the dealership. And now look, I'm leaving with a car. That's mixing shopping with buying. We don't want to do that. And then we move to step 5, which is we're multiple offers. Multiple offers. So you're going to hear as you stay on the stream and as you understand what we do in the Cars from Home process and why people are saving so much money and they're so happy enjoying their process is because of those 2 words, multiple offers. It puts you in control. It puts you in the driver's seat. It makes you feel like you are the prize. You're not begging anymore. Who's been in a dealership feeling like, man, why am I begging these people to take my money? Will anyone be honest? Anybody be honest and say, man, anytime you've been in the dealership, have you ever felt like, why am I begging these guys for me to give them $20,000 of my money, $50,000 of my money? So what we're going to do is when you start getting multiple offers, you're going to see, whoa, this thing flips on its head. Now they're coming to me. Okay, so this is just initial mindset of the difference with the Cars from Home process. Step 6, we go and tie up our paperwork. Again, if you notice, all of this stuff I'm talking about is done from home. The only thing we do in that dealership is test drive, come on home. And you're going to start now enjoying your test drives. So you probably can't even, you've probably been scared to go test drive. Sean, I'm scared to go test drive. I don't want to, because they're sitting you down. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul Sperling, for being honest. I see you on Facebook. That's where you've been nervous. Man, I don't want to go test drive. I'd rather just, but what you're going to start doing now is enjoying the shopping because you're test driving, going to another dealership, test drive this. Sometimes people go with their families and say, hey, family, good news. We're going to go out this weekend. We're going to test drive a bunch of cars and we're going to decide what the right one is for our family. The kids are happy, wife's happy, husband's happy. Yes, let's do it. Get to the first dealership, test driving the car. All right, what do you think, guys? Oh, it's okay, it's all right, it's nice, we like it. Okay, now the kids think we're going to see 3 vehicles. Next thing you know, Dad's sitting down with the salesman. Hey, we got a great sale, today. It's a 1-day sale. That's a lie. Really? Oh man, what does the sale look like? Oh man, and for those of you know, I'm not the public. I'm an insider, so I'm telling you from being in the dealerships. You get what I mean? Like I respect people who never were car salesmen and they're trying to teach you guys how to get the best deals. God bless their hearts. I'm telling you from inside. So next thing you know, the husband's sitting down talking numbers. Kids are like, hey, Dad, what happened? I thought we were going to, hey, hold on. Daddy's working out a good deal here. Hold on. They got a 1-day sale. Not realizing they've completely taken you off your shopping process, which is your power, deciding what you want. And then once you decide what you want, you have multiple dealers compete while you sit at home. Right where I'm at, right where I'm sitting is where I have made my last probably 5 car deals for myself and my family from right here. Bids. So now that we open it up, we gave you a little mindset of what Cars from Home is about. We got questions coming in. I see Jay on YouTube. I see Robert on TikTok. For those of you who want to know if we're live, we are live. It's our Wednesday, May 7th episode. We're live every Monday through Thursday at noon. But you might be watching a rebroadcast and you might have someone ask the same question that you're going to ask because we do replay the show throughout the day for those who couldn't catch us live. All right. So Dolan, let's start bringing in these questions. I see we got some coming. And Instagram, you guys type your questions. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. All right. What do you think about the Flex Car Leasing Company? Let's see. It's Flex Car Leasing. All right. Let's see if we can find out about Flex Car. Live large, spend small. Sounds like a good quality lease. That's literally, listen, I leased my first car, I was 22. I had other friends buying cars. My payment on my Pontiac G6 was $256. It was a $20,000 car. I never had a problem with it because it was always under warranty, and my other friends were out there, buying cars they were paying double what I was paying. And again, if you're keeping your car 8 years or longer, forget about leasing. You should be shopping for a below market purchase. If you're not keeping your cars 8 years or longer, below market leases is how we save all the money keep thousands in our bank account, drive incredible cars. So let's take a look. It says Flex Car is the first and only month-to-month car lease because freedom shouldn't come with a contract. Once you flex, you'll never buy a car again. Now, I like this. We're just judging it by what do we get to drive? Here's how you judge leasing, y'all. What do I get to drive and what do I pay for that? For example, I told you guys my first lease was $20,256 a month. Then I got an Infiniti G25. Our payment was, that was early. That was like 2011. It's like a $35,000 car. I want to say I was like low threes or either high twos. Ridiculous deal on it. Wasn't no more than that because after that I got an Infiniti Q50, $45,000 car. My payment was $325. After that I got another Q50. I had 3 Q50s in a row. My next payment was $345. My last one was $365. That was all of these are $45,000 cars. No money down. I do not put money down on leases, and I teach you how never to put money down when you're shopping. When you know you have a great lease deal, then you can put money down. Let me give you an example. So let's say we shop all our offers. You're going to see dealers all over the place. Once you get multiple offers, you guys are going to see, thank you so much. Shout out to the people sharing on TikTok. Shout out to the sharers. Everyone who shares this broadcast, I appreciate you. Everyone doesn't share, but I appreciate the people who do share. I don't take it for granted. You know, and your friends will be upset if they find out you sent them out. They went out, bought a car, got ripped off, and then you're like, hey, you ever hear that guy, Deshone? No. Oh, yeah, I watch him all the time. Why didn't you share his channel with me? That mess around, you know, the friendship's over. So make sure. So share with your friends. But anyway, so when we consider that leasing is a value play. So leasing is how much car can I drive for X amount of money? Because that's all we judge it by. It is literally nothing. We're not in love with these cars. We are not keeping these cars for more than we should not be leasing something and saying we love it. Because if you love it, you mess around and lease something that has a bad lease program, and then you're driving a car overpaid for it because you like. So you know, if somebody says, "Oh man, I really want that Range Rover," and then they shop the offers. Range Rover offers are no good. They're all over 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. For those of you who don't know, we judge leases by dividing the MSRP, the monthly payment we get, no money down. You divide that monthly payment into the MSRP. So if you have a vehicle that has a $400 payment, you divide that into the MSRP, which is, let's say, $40,000. That's going to be a 1% lease. You multiply it by 100. So divide the monthly payment into the MSRP times 100. That tells us a percentage. So once we get that percentage, we can see, is this a 1% lease? Is this a 1.5% lease? Is this a 1.2% lease? Now, you cannot judge a lease until you've gotten multiple offers because you need to find what we call the 20%. What are the 20%? Anybody know what the 20% is? And we're still talking about this Flex Car leasing program because if we can lease cars through Flex Car and they're 1% leases or 1.1 and 1. If you get to drive these expensive cars, but you're only paying 1%, 1.2%, 1.1%, less than 1% of the MSRP on a monthly payment, you don't have to tie up all your money. You got cars under warranty, no problems. This could be a really good thing. Now, I haven't used Flex Car, but I'm just telling you, if you guys explore them, this is what we are judging because this is how we judge leases. Okay, there's nothing else about it. So you divide your monthly payment. You don't have to worry about taxes. Here's why you don't have to worry about taxes. And here's why you also don't have to. We're just talking about leasing. So let's continue to ask questions about used. I don't know if more people are just interested in leasing. Maybe you guys can help me out. Is it that more people are interested in leasing because we get a lot of questions about it? You know, we have systems for pre-owned cars. Shopping deals with getting below market pre-owned cars, getting below market new cars. saving money with our bank bidding war, making banks and credit unions bid for our interest rates, selling cars to get our equity out, bidding. So we have all types of stuff outside of leasing, but I'm going to answer the questions you guys ask. And if Dolan keeps pulling in the questions and most of them are about leasing, then that's what we're going to talk about. Okay? So so here's the reasons why you never have to worry about what about the taxes and fees and what about the selling price? Do I divide the monthly payment into the selling price or the MSRP? Well, you're going to do it on the MSRP. That's that sticker price. I'm going to show you guys an example here on the screen so you can see. This is a sticker, window sticker, and you can see, Dolan, can you snatch that? Thank you so much, Dolan. The total MSRP right here, that's your MSRP. That is what you're dividing your monthly payment into. Now, the MSRP tells us the value of the car in the market. The MSRP tells us the value of the of the car in the market. It does not tell us what they're selling the car to us for and how much they've discounted it. That's reflected in the monthly payment. So you have a $40,000 MSRP. One person, one dealership, an 80% dealer offers us $600 a month for that. Okay, another dealer, 80%, offers us $650 a month for that. No money down. Remember, always shop our lease deals with only first month's payment due at signing. Only first month's payment due at signing. You don't do anything else but first month's payment due at signing. And you tell dealers how you want your lease deals presented to you. You do not let them work you up a random lease deal. Okay, so you get your first month payment and you say, okay, one dealer says $650, $40,000 car. This is an average car. $600. Another dealer says $550. But then here comes this 20% dealer, $425. So now you're looking and saying, whoa, the percentage for the higher dealers is 1.4, 1.45, 1.6, but this lowest dealer is 1.2, 1.1. What's going on here? Same exact car. This is the 20%. You've identified the 20%. They've identified themselves, and the lower sales price that they're giving you is reflected in the monthly payment. So so the monthly payment is where we can see the discounts, not the MSRP. So we divide that monthly payment into the MSRP, gives us that percentage, and we can see those with the lowest offers, lowest percentages have made us the best deal. And we always make sure we tell them, put your taxes and fees into the payment. Okay, now I have templates for this. So everything we do is by email. If you guys want to take this and use it, you want to try calling around, just remember this stuff. For those of you who do not want to remember it, you're like, Deshone, give me the blueprint, give me the step-by-step. We have everything in my digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealership. I wrote the templates out. You just fill them in, blast them out. We show you something we call the 25-to-5 strategy, where you connect with 25 dealers in 20 minutes, and your goal will be to get 5 offers. So as our welcome offer, you can get your copy for 75% off, normally $97. But if you head to my TikTok bio, you won't leave the show, Instagram bio, YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments, you can get yours for $24, which is going to be 75% off. It's a digital book. You'll have it by the end of the stream. Okay? But this is very important. When we're judging lease deals, whether it's through FlexPay, whether it's through an individual dealership, it does not matter. We are judging them based on value. And the lower percentage I'm paying to drive X amount of car, the better value that we're getting. Okay? That makes sense? Type $signs if that makes sense. If anybody needs me to go deeper on that, we can certainly go deeper. Okay? I just had to, there's somebody named Pop. We blocked him on TikTok. He said, talk too much drama to drive a car. He never say that with a house. And if he would, he's totally ignorant. And here's the thing. We have been taught by the auto industry, a multi-billion-dollar industry, that we know as the public takes advantage of people and rips them off. As an industry, not every dealer, but as an industry, they take advantage. They do not get sued. We have people who are driving the same cars, paying $200 more, same exact car. No one is getting lawsuits. You're ripping us off because you've taught us that we should be able to come into the dealership, make a $30,000 transaction on the low side. The average car price is probably 40, 45 grand. They've taught us that they've taught us we should be able to make that decision in 1 hour with no real competition and no real information. So when we talk about strategy and the way we save money, when you look at somebody like a Marie, hey, just wanted to reach out and say thank you. I love these emails, by the way. Those of you who have my book, who are using it, please continue to send me these types of emails. Marie said, just wanted to reach out and thank you. Using the guide, I saved over $13,000 off MSRP, got my payment to be hundreds lower per month and maintenance included with no money down. Just wanted to say thank you. 2025 GLC 300 coupe, fully loaded. Now, some of you have this exact same car, or you know someone with it. You know someone with it. And they probably went out, got it traditionally in 2 hours, did very little shopping because they wanted this car. But Marie used the cars from home process, got my book, $24. Hopefully she got it at the welcome offer for $24. And that $24 investment saved her $13,000 off this new car. $13,000. We are not here on Wednesday, May 7th, to talk about hundreds of dollars. And these are the people who would be warning you guys to say, hey, you better have a process. And if you don't, that's okay. You don't need a process. Just know you're overpaying. And just understand that the car business has mastered sending you down the road in your car and you overpaid and you're smiling. It's a very, very powerful business, multi-billion-dollar machine where you could send hundreds of people down the road smiling and they literally overpay. You just made $5,000 on them, $8,000 on them, $10,000 on them. That, you know, there's a saying in the car business, the happiest customers are the ones you make the most money on. That is a saying. So the happiest customers, the ones that are no, hey, listen, you got to do better, man. Hey, man, I'm still not happy because you still don't feel like you got a good deal. Those are the people that you make the least money on. Still making money on them because they're not comparatively shopping. But the ones who, oh, Joe, you were great. You made this so easy. Go see Joe, everybody. Meanwhile, Joe's making $8,000-$10,000 on you every single time. So appreciate the people who value having a process for the most expensive purchase some of them are going to make. We're not buying homes like we used to. So some people, cars are going to be the most expensive purchase that you make. So I appreciate the people who value how serious that process is. All right, Dolan, let's keep them going. Next question. We got a lot more coming in. Lady V, how are you? What are the major updates for the car buying strategy? Oh, are you in Cars from Home? I announced Lady V, let me know, because it sounds like you're talking about a post I made to our private group. Actually, if you check Leasing Like a Boss, what we just did is we turned our 25 to 5 shopping process, which was you. By the way, guys, this is somebody, we have 2,300 people in our inner circle who use the Cars from Home strategy. They don't like reading, not all of them. They prefer videos and coaching. We have coaching calls first and third Wednesday. We got one this afternoon. But what she's asking, I announced that we were upgrading again our process because we made it even shorter. And guys, we're getting cars in 45 minutes. We're getting lease deals in 45 minutes over a 3-day period, 45, 60 minutes. Literally, we are having people bid in a process that used to take us, even our people who are good. Like you look at somebody like Rosalie. Rosalie, some of you know if you've been on the stream, I continue to celebrate her. She got 3 cars. At once, she had to get 3 cars for her sons. A Nissan Rogue, $36,000, $399 a month, sign and drive. CX-30, $28,000, $339 sign and drive. That's a 1.2% lease. And then Mazda CX-50, $40,000 vehicle, $420. 1% leases, and then one, just killing it. Probably. And then she got $6,700 selling her old leases. She sold 2 leases because in step 2 of our process, we teach you how to sell not just your cars that you own or that you finance. Who didn't know you could sell a lease? Type me. Let me ask this too. Who didn't know you could sell a car that you did not have the title for? It's not paid off yet. Let's ask both. Who didn't know both of those? Because I've seen people in my career that say, listen, Deshone, as soon as I make my last payment, I'm coming to get that. As soon as I get the title. And I'm like, where did you think that you had to wait for the title paid off to? So who didn't know that? So literally, I see you, Nina. Thanks for being honest. Appreciate you. All right. Thank you, yours truly. I appreciate the people who are always willing to be honest, because you're the ones who are going to really, if you can't get the bad news, you are literally not going to be able to get to the good news. Like, you got to realize the people who they have a very tough time is they just think, Deshone, I know way more than you. Even though you've been in this thing since 2006, you got all this experience, you done worked for this, been a finance manager, had your own brokerage. Deshone, I still think that I know this more than you. Very tough time helping them. But other people, you guys can win very simply. So when we look, she's asking, we were getting these cars in roughly an hour and a half, 2 hours from home. Now I'm doing it in about 60 minutes, but I created a quicker process, cut some things out, and we just are uploading new things to our membership page that are going to have people literally popping in over a 3-day period. Morning, 10 minutes, afternoon, 10 minutes, evening, 10 minutes. You do that by your second day, you're going to have 5, 6 offers, 7 offers, and be ready to close the deal. Like that quick. That quick. I'm always about quicker. Deshone, y'all getting cars in an hour and a half from home. Yeah, but can we do it quicker? So that's what we got. So check Leasing Like a Boss, and you'll see some of the new videos already in there. And thank you, Daniel. He said it's worth the price. And it's in the book. So very important to understand. Everything we're talking about, guys, you can get it for $24. If you get to the book before the 30-minute welcome offer expires. This is the same system. Some people just like videos and coaching in our community, 1,600 people in it. They want to be in that. Like, let's do this together. Let me ask more questions. We can't answer questions for people who have the book. Unless you pop on a live and you catch me here. So thanks, Lady B. But yes, check out the membership page and you'll see all of the new videos in day 5 for the 25 to 5 strategy. It just got quicker. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Pull the next one up. All right. And every time y'all hear something that you like, can you continue to run up these likes on TikTok? Appreciate it. I see we're about 300 now. But if y'all can continue to run those likes up, it means a lot. It lets TikTok know, hey, they're talking some serious stuff over here. Let's bring some more people over here so more people can benefit. My man Paul Sperling on Facebook. How are you? Are there dealerships that won't allow you to lease unless you use their financing and not use your own credit union? This is a great question. Wanted to know if it was true because Genesis Salesman told me that. Great question. So Paul, with a lease, we must use the dealer's bank or the manufacturer's bank. It's not like a finance where we can go and we can get our own financing. We can shop around for our own financing. And the reason we're doing that is to make sure that they're not overcharging us for the financing. So we have a process we call the bank bidding war, where we strategically let tons of banks and credit unions shop our credit without it lowering our credit score with all these inquiries. And we do it within a window, and it allows it to only show, it only affects our score as one hard inquiry. So these are the steps we take to make sure we are not overpaying. Thank you, y'all. Yali 288, #1 gifted badge. Appreciate you. But on a lease, it's different. We must go through the dealer's bank. Now, here's what could happen. With a lease, there's something called a money factor, which is an interest rate. That's an interest rate on a lease. It's called a money factor. Now, dealerships, if they know you are not shopping, and some, the 80%, even if they know you're shopping, they're going to mark up the money factor. So they're going to create and quote you with a higher money factor. This is why going in and asking for the invoice does not matter. You don't know what the hidden money is. What are the rebates? What is the incentives? What is the money factor? You don't know. Did you mark it up? Did you not? Can't see it. It is totally undisclosed. There's no way for you to see it. So how do we make sure this doesn't happen? Multiple offers. Because when we know you're shopping now, and again, you're going to see as you guys get multiple offers, sometimes it's not going to matter. You're still going to see offers that are extremely high. And you're like, these guys are still quoting us high, even though they know we're shopping. Correct. Because this is what they sell their cars for. And they will sell this car to someone else for the higher price who does not have strategies before they discount it to sell it to you. They would much rather say, Mr. Customer, that's my best deal. I'm sorry if it's not in your budget, but that is my best deal. They're not lying because they're going to sell that car to someone else who does not have strategy, who will gladly pay it. But once you begin to shop around, you're going to see, like I have a market report up. Can you snatch that question down for 1 second, Dolan? There's a market report up here on the screen for an Infiniti QX60 Lux. It's a $61,000 vehicle. Now we can see so far, and this was literally when we got 4 offers. Now what you're going to be getting is at least 5 to 7, and then you make your decision. Only vehicles that are very scarce, you're going to see less than 4 offers, or less than 5 offers. And then at which point, we usually make a decision on, do we want this vehicle or do we want to hold off and maybe check back next month, because we need competition. But in most cases, you're going to see plenty of offers come through, 5 offers, 7 offers. This is how most market reports look that we prepare. We prepare these for people, and this is what we teach you to do for yourself. So as you can see, $61,000 vehicle. One dealer is at $873. Sign and drive, no money down. One dealer is at $889. But then we have 2 dealers that have come in at $680 and $685. $200 apart. So now there are people in these other dealers that are at $800, almost $900 a month, negotiating. Come on, man, can you get me down under 8? You see how that's a losing battle? They're at $889, right? They know we're shopping, because when we shop, you always want to let dealers know. I'm speaking to a couple dealers. You catch more flies with honey than with what is the saying? Vinegar. So be nice, be friendly. All the scripts we have, you use our scripts. We have thousands of people using our scripts from our book and from our Shop with Deshone coaching program. And they're nice. They're friendly. They're not like aggressive. They're firm. But when you're talking to dealers, just be, hey, I'm shopping around. Hey, and you're still going to see, that's my best price, $800. That's how you know. Don't get emotional. This is the 80% Deshone told us about. Don't expect them to do what the 20% does. Expect them to be high. You're $150 higher than the other dealerships. Are you going to come down? No. No. Because 16 million new people buy new cars a year. And sorry, I'm glad you got strategy, and I'm glad you know how to find this 20% dealer that's $150 less a month than me. But that's not going to change the fact that I'm going to sell this car to someone else. And they'll try to lean on you and say, well, do you want it? Because, hey, that's our price. No, I'm sorry. We don't want it. Thank you so much, though. So this is what we're dealing with when we are dealing with car salesmen. which is why you must shop multiple offers to be able to get your best offer. Now, when we look, going back to yours truly's question about, can you pull that question back up about the shopping for the lease financing? It wasn't yours truly's question, I don't think, Dolan. Whatever the last question was, because what we're talking about is in those $800 a month payments, what is making those high payments so high? It may not be that they're not discounting only. It might be that they're not giving a big discount, and the finance managers are so used to robbing people that they say, listen, every single lease quote that y'all quote, make sure you put 1 point in there for me. Every single lease quote. Do not bring me a lease customer if you don't have any padding in that money factor for me. And that's what they do. So they are not going to lower the money factor. They can't. There was salesmen. I remember when we were salesmen, they used to start negotiating the rate. Hey, what if I could get you down to 3.9 or 4.9? The finance manager come out and say, why are you saying that? You're giving away my money. You negotiate the car price. You negotiate with their trade with them. You don't negotiate my money, because the finance managers are like, hey, when it comes to that rate, that money factor, those interest rates, that's my money. And there are some dealers who have it built in, which is why you must comparison shop. You stay at home. Again, if you want to do it your way, you want to call around, you want to get at least 5 offers. Using our way, we'll show you how to get 5 offers, contact 25 dealers in 20 minutes, and then literally in minutes, you got offers coming into your inbox. But whether you're doing it our way or whether you're doing it your way, stop doing it their way. Their way is just come on in, think you can negotiate back and forth, and then once you hear a number that you feel like it sounds good, that's when you take it. Losing battle. Okay? Let's go, Dolan. Pull up the next one. All right, I see we got a lot of questions. We got Nina. For those of you who don't know, we are absolutely live. This is our Wednesday, May 7th live. We're live every Monday through Thursday at 12 noon, so you can meet us here. If you couldn't catch the whole stream, we will rebroadcast this show throughout the day, so you can have your friends, family watch it, or you can catch up on some of the things you missed. We'll replay all through the rest of the day. And on the weekends, we take all the shows from the week and we rebroadcast them out, so everyone can catch up on things throughout the weekend. All right. And most times you're going to hear someone ask the same question you were going to ask. All right. When getting quotes for your Adrian on Facebook, when getting quotes for your car for trade, who all should you get quotes from? This is a great question, Adrian. 6 companies right now. 6 companies. And we could throw a 7th in because Rosalie sold hers to We Buy Any Car. So this is step 2, guys. This is called the equity assessment, because we don't trade. Trade is a curse word here. The only people who have to trade using our system are people who buried themselves in negative equity, and now we're working a transaction to get them out of it. They can't pay the difference, so they have to trade their car into whoever wins the bid. And but those are the only times we use that curse word, trade. In every other case, we are selling our car to cash buyers because we're separating our transactions. We separate who we buy our car from who we sell our old car to, from who we get our bank loan from. Some of you, and be honest, have you given the dealership your trade-in, got a loan from them, and got a car from them? All 3 in 1. Have you done that? I bought a car from a dealership, got my loan from them, and I gave them my old car. 3 transactions in 1. Impossible to have 1 there. Again, take the bad news first so that we can get you to the good news. You cannot win giving a dealership 3 transactions in 1. Okay? Each one of these should be bid out while you're at home so that you know I've maximized everything. Okay? So 6 companies we're getting bids from: CarMax, Carvana, Driveway, Kelly's Blue Book, but not the regular Kelly's Blue Book, Instant Cash Offer. Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, where they connect you with a local dealership that gives you a cash offer. Auto Nation, cash offer. Car Gurus, cash offer. All three of them connect you with a local dealership to get a cash offer. Now, when you throw in We Buy Any Car, or maybe a local cash buying company that you might see commercials with, hey, we want to buy any car, we'll buy your car. All of them. Now, this takes about 25 minutes to do to get all of these quotes, but you're not getting, this is a third of your transaction. So those of you who are like, I'm just going to trade, God bless you, do you. But you're not going to make the money we make. You're not going to make the money Rosalie made. Sold 2 leases, put $6,700 in her pocket at the end of the lease. And what many of you, do I still have Melissa's See, Melissa, many of you who are going to learn that you have not been a long-term person and you have been buying your cars, you're going to get your bids, and then you're going to put a ton of money in your bank account because you're going to lease with no money down. And once you lease with no money down, I don't think I have it up. I think it was from last year. And because we're just showing all 2025s and 20. Yeah, that's all we're showing right now is, recent people, but some of these, Dolan, I'm going to go back and grab because some of them were unique in that when you see you've been somebody who's been taking loans out and you're like, Deshone, every time I buy a car, I take loans out 5-6 years. I go trade the car in after like 4 years, or maybe I pay them off and then I go and trade them in. And I always end up really not getting nothing. I got high payments every time. And then whatever my old car is worth, I use it for a down payment for the new car. I don't really see where that money goes. So this is a repetitive cycle. What you're going to do is actually get your cash bids, realize, all right, I've been breaking the 8-year rule. The 8-year rule says if you're not buying your next car to keep at least 8 years, you should be getting a below market lease. That's what you should be shopping for. That's going to save you thousands upon thousands of dollars more, and you're going to drive better vehicles. If you're keeping your car more than 8 years, then you should be shopping for a below market purchase, new or used, based on your budget and your values. So the 8-year rule. So you say, man, I've been breaking this 8-year rule. I'm not keeping these cars 8 years. Let me go and shop for my below market lease next time. So my normal car that I would normally trade in, not really see where that money's going. Now I'm going to bid that out to CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, Driveway, Car Gurus, and We Buy Any Car. I'm going to see the highest bidder. The highest bidder might be like, because Melissa, I think she made like $14,000. She had like a 5-year-old car that she would normally trade, but it was paid off. And she's like, all right, I'm not going to go and use this as a trade and buy something else. She gets like, you're going to have like 12 grand equity, 15 grand equity. Beautiful. And what's going to happen is when you shop for your below market lease, you're shopping with only first month's payment due at signing. So you find your lease, you've already been paying super high payments because you've been purchasing. Now you're like, whoa, I could drive this new car and it's $200 less than what I've been paying. I don't got to put no money down on this thing. You pull out of there with a super low payment, new car, and you got a $12,000, $15,000 check going in your bank account. Got my car, and now I can see where my equity is going. It ain't going to you, dealership. It ain't going in that car. It's going in my bank. And this is, that's one of the most beautiful things I love to see. And it only happens for people who have been, unfortunately, programmed and brainwashed to buy cars. They don't keep them 8 years. And then when they come to the revelation, now it's like, boom, equity goes in the bank. I'm driving new cars for cents on the dollar. Beautiful. All right. And that's why you do the equity assessment before you shop. Step one, we decide how our 8-year rule. Are we buying to keep more than 8 years or less than 8 years? That's when we know, lease or purchase. Then step two, equity assessment. Let me see what my current car is worth. My current lease is worth. Can I make any money on it? Am I upside down? That's what we do at step 2. Okay, so once you guys really follow this process, your whole car buying is going to change. You'll be moving just like everybody else is moving. Just like Brian got his first lease. First lease using our system. He said, just finalized my first ever lease using your system. 2025 HRV Sport, all-wheel drive, $30,500 MSRP for $395 a month. 1.2% ratio. See, this is how you know people understand the car buying process. They talk just like me. They talk just like me. They know the process. They didn't have to go to school for this. They just followed the steps, and I walked them through how to judge the deal. 1.2% deal, 12,000 miles a year, 36 months, no money down. His initial quote from this dealer was $434. In my book and in our Shop with Deshone system, we have calculators we invented. We have 6 proprietary calculators. Can't find them anywhere on Google. They're ours. We created them. He used our calculator. We put all our offers into the calculator. It tells us what to counter. So he counter offered online or by email. His last offer was $395. They went from $434 to $395. That's how it goes. And he probably had 5 or 6 or 7 other offers that was $150 a month higher. That's how it goes. All right. That's where you want to be. All right. That makes sense. Did everybody grab that? Type $ if you follow me. Who's following? Type $. Okay. I never want to go to the next subject before I make sure. All right. Did you grasp that? Did you? All right. Thank you. I see you, DJ and Nice. My man, good to see you checking in. Hart, you have that's your username, Hart. So yours truly. Thank you so much. Good to see you. All right. I see you, HD1 1225. Good to see you. All right, perfect. All right, Dolan, let's go to the next question. All right, feel free to keep talking. I know we got a bunch, so I'm not even gonna say it. Let's just try to get through what we got so far. Should there be a set length of financing depending on the year of the car? Great question. So we have something we created called the Rule of 72 and the 10th birthday. This is, all right, there's something we call the repo recipe. So when I was in Mercedes, this happened more often with Mercedes. People, 4 expenses that we need to take into account when we're financing a car. 4 expenses. The cost to acquire the car, and most people are taking a loan. So it's the cost to acquire. Then you have the cost to repair it. Well, let's say this. You got your insurance. You have your maintenance. And on some cars, maintenance does become serious. On a Mercedes, your oil change is $200. Your brake fluid change and your service B is $400 to $500. So there are cars that we have to take into account the maintenance being serious. Then we have gas. So even if you have a car that maintenance is low, you still have gas. So let's just wrap those 2 together. And the 4th expense is what really, really hurts people when they have something that breaks. And when we have something that breaks, what we typically don't want is a car payment. We don't want all of those expenses on top of things breaking. So what we really want to do, and this is a measure of when you're buying too much car for your real budget. If you can't buy a car and you afford it and can get, most of the loan is under warranty. So most of the loan that you have the car is under warranty. If you got a 5-year loan and you got 2 years without a warranty, okay, cool. You got a 6-year loan, you got 3 years without a warranty, okay. But you don't want a 6-year loan and 1 year you had a warranty and 5 years there's no warranty on a car that could, and you don't have the cash. These are things that we call the repo recipe, because when something breaks and you have a car payment and your insurance payment and they're telling you, wait, you need the maintenance, you just wait, I just put brakes and tires on this thing. This is enough for some people to say, whoa, I can't afford to put $5,000 into this car in 60 days. Or so how do we prevent this? We prevent this by making sure we're not taking a car or a loan too long for the year of the car. And the longest loan we want to take is 72 months. And so the reason why it's called the rule of 72 and the 10th birthday is because when you add up the year of the car and the number of years old the car is, when you add up the year of the car and the year of the loan, the number of years on the loan, it should not pass 10. So if you're getting a 4-year-old car, you can take a 6-year loan. If you're getting a 3-year-old car, you can take a 6-year loan. That's 9. If you're getting a 5-year-old car, you should take a 5-year loan max. If you're getting a 6-year-old car, you should take a 4-year loan max. Now, why is this a test of affordability? Because some of you are saying, whoa, but I can't get the car that I really want at that number. Then that means you can't afford the car that you really want. Again, it doesn't mean you can't break that rule, but it does mean that you're going to have a loan on a car that's older than 10 years. This is risky. So it's nothing wrong. The reason we create these boundaries, so at least when you cross them, you know you're crossing them. So if something happens, you're not surprised. You're not like, whoa, how did this happen? Well, I took a little risk. I took 1 year longer. Then, the car's 11 years old. I still got a loan on it. Stuff goes wrong. I'm out there. I got more exposure. But if we use that as a gauge of affordability and say, you know what, if I can't afford a 6-year loan on this car, then I can't afford the car. If they're telling me I got to take 7 years, that's why we cap both. We cap the number of years you should take at 72, absolute longest. And some of you know we default to a 5-year loan when we're shopping. This will also help you because you'll look and say, 5-year loan, every $5,000 is about $100 per month. So as you're shopping and you're looking at cars, you should be saying to yourself, all right, $20,000, that's about a $400 payment. All right. And that's if I put no money down. You got your taxes and fees. Maybe I'll take care of the taxes and fees, but that $20,000 car is going to cost me about $400 a month, 5 years. $80,000 car, you're looking at, divide that by 5,000. That's $1,600 a month for 5 years. Doesn't matter how high you go. But when you don't have these rules and you go in, here's what tends to happen. You look at cars that are way more expensive than you could afford, and you say, hey, can you get me to this payment? And a salesman, are they ever going to say, no? They're going to say, oh, let me see what I can do. Next thing you know, they come out and say, hey, good news, I got you to $1,000 a month. Hey, good news, I got you to this. Way below what our rules are. Way below than the $5,000 every 100. So you got to say, how did they get me to way below the every 5,000 is 100? How many years is the loan, sir? Oh, well, listen, what's more important to you, the payment or the number of years? Well, both are important to me. How many years is the loan? Well, right now, this is an 84-month loan. This is a 96-month loan. Wait, so 7, 8 years? 8 years, 9 years? You're talking like, yeah, well, and that's how you get jammed up. So if you keep these boundaries in place, longest loan I'm going to take 6 years, 72 months. When I'm shopping for a car, if I'm purchasing it, not leasing, I am looking and saying every $20,000, every $5,000 I'm going to borrow, it's going to cost me about $100 per month. If you do these things, look at the car. What's the year of the car? 5 years old? All right. Max I want to do on that car is a 5-year loan. Oh, it's only 3 years old? All right, I can stretch to a 6-year loan if necessary. You keep these boundaries, you will be safe. You stay far away from the repo recipe. When things tend to go wrong at that 9, 10 year, 11 year mark, you got to put some money into the car. Car is paid off. You don't have to worry. Okay? High dollar signs if you guys followed that, and we can move on to the next question. Everybody clear on that? Colin Moore, welcome to the community. New follower. We are live. It is our Wednesday, May 7th episode. You may be watching us live at noon, or you might be watching a rebroadcast. We rebroadcast the show throughout the day until our next show tomorrow, which is at noon. Monday through Thursday, we're live at noon. You can please tell your friends who are shopping for cars, meet us here. If they'll be shopping for cars in the next 6 months. This is where they want to be. And they really don't want to wait. I mean, I'm trying to get people to stop waiting till they need a car to go and start learning this stuff. You want to be in the market 90 days before you need a car. We've been programmed again to wait until, and it's probably the anxiety. I put it off to the very end. We've just been programmed to wait until the very end, and then we go in and now we have desperate vibes. We're like, oh, I got to take anything I can get. We really want to be strategizing our car purchase early in the market, able to say no to offers very early. This is power, where you can say no. You can email. We have dates that we give the dealerships of, hey, this is when I can buy a car. I could buy it today, but I don't need it for 2 months, 3 months. That really puts us in a position of power, because everyone they're dealing with is desperate, walking in saying, I need a car today. Oh, I hear these cars are hard to get. All of this wrong, desperate energy that's going to make them pay more. That's what they want to sell. We come with, no, we can make a deal today, but we don't have to make a deal today. And when we come like that, it really positions us to, next month, the car salesman will be like, man, I ain't sold a car in 4 days. Oh man, let me call Kevin Gilder. Hey, Mr. Gilder, are you still in the market? Yeah, I'm still here. I told you I got until I got a couple months. Oh, cool, man. Listen, I think I could get that offer you made last month. We couldn't do it last month, but we were super busy. Everybody was in here, man. We charging them all of this money, but right now we're pretty desperate, and I would like to take your offer to my manager. Sure, definitely. That's obviously not what they say, but that's what they're thinking. So you want to be positioned for that. If you shop every single time in an emergency, you're not going to be able to be positioned for that. Okay? We don't want to be in the habit of emergency shopping. Not here. Once you have this way, you'll be like, oh, man, I could get in the market early. All right. Go ahead, Dolan. Oh, for those of you who are like, Deshone, there's no way I'm going to remember all of this stuff. Can you give me the whole blueprint? Write it out step by step. That's my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. And it's 7 steps, whether you are purchasing, whether you're leasing. We get below market leases. You're going to get below market leases, below market new cars, below market used cars, below market financing, because you're going to have banks and dealers bidding for your financing. If you're a high mileage driver, there's 3 different strategies for exactly how you need to be moving as a high mileage driver. If you have negative equity, there are 2 strategies in there to help you move from negative equity to your next purchase. This is all in 7 steps. Very simple to follow. So you can get your copy. It's normally $97, but you can get your copy. Part of our welcome offer, 30 minutes only. If you visited already and that timer started, once 30 minutes goes to 0, it is now $97, which is worth every penny. But I'd rather you get the welcome offer. So go grab it. TikTok bio, Instagram bio, Facebook comments, YouTube comments. Click those links. Go grab your book and come on back to the stream. Make sure after you get the book, you screenshot the thank you page, because it has my support team's email. Sometimes you're typing fast, type your email wrong. You don't see that book in 10 minutes. Just send an email to my support team. They'll get you your book right away. All right, go grab it before the 30 minutes is up. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one. You don't want to have your own financing all the time, pure knowledge. Sometimes dealers have 12, 13 banks sometimes. Sometimes they can beat what you get on the outside. The key is creating a competition. Thinking about a 2025 Land Cruiser for $62,000, $5K down, any advice? How do we know that's a good deal? How do we know that's a good deal, everyone? Now, mind you, that's how a lot of people approach the car purchase. I'm thinking of this car, all right, I got 10 grand down. What we haven't, so here's what you discussed in this statement. I'm gonna read this question again, and you're gonna see 2 pillars that unfortunately we're combining. Thinking about a 2025 Land Cruiser. So now in my mind, for 62K. Now, this is a new car. With our new car system, we use the bidding. Thank you so much, Daniel. See, Daniel knows. I think, Daniel, you have our book, Bidding the Market. So that's where we're missing everything. So now we're looking at the new car, which means what our process is, we're connecting with 25 dealers to get bids. If you said, Deshone, I called around, spoke to several Toyota dealerships, and the best dealer that I found who's going to offer me a car is going to give me $8,000 off. But I got 5 offers. I got 7 offers. Some people said they're not going to do any discount. Some people had $3,000 in fake fees and dealer adjustments. Some people had protection plans and they took off a little money, took off $5,000, but they had all of these fake fees. So it's really not even like they took off $5,000. But one dealer didn't have the fake fees and he discounted $8,000. Boom. That's a bid. You did it manually. Didn't do it our way. That's just fine. But that is allowing you to have the peace of mind that I'm getting a great price on the Toyota Land Cruiser. Separately now, we're moving to our financing because you said $5,000 down. Therefore, you're getting a loan. So we would now have banks and credit unions bid to now submit offers to you within a 24-hour period. You have all these banks, credit unions online bid for the loan, get the best interest rate. We give the dealer a chance to see can they beat it. In which case we bid out the loan, we bid out the car purchase, and now and watch this. I'm home doing that before you even get home from your dealership. One visit, you're in the dealership 3 hours. I'm popping into my email minutes at a time, 15 minutes. I'm hopping on. I'm getting banks to bid in an hour. Everyone's bidding. Boom, boom. I'm getting dealerships to bid. You're still at the dealership. You're just meeting the salesman. You're still wondering, do they have a black one? Hey, he said he had a black one. He was going to pull it up. All right. He comes back with silver. Oh, you don't have black? Oh, no. Well, listen, somebody's trying to dig it up in the back. We're going to see. Why don't you drive this one and then maybe we'll see. Okay, listen, I'm here. Cars from home people, we here moving. We already gotten offers coming in. You still waiting for a test drive. This is how we move. So not only is our process and the way we shop the key to getting all these offers, like again, you look at somebody like this was crazy. Val Boss lady, $51,000 vehicle, zero maintenance, look. She got a 1.1% lease on that. Let's look at where's Sean? My man Sean, because Sean was actually one of the $72,000 vehicle. He saved with the rebate and with the dealer discount. He saved $21,000 off of it. $21,000 off of it. He's sitting here chilling at home. Dealers, I'll take off 3,000. I'll take off 5. I'll take off 10. Oh, I'll take off 20. Whoa. So it's not only is it the money that we save, it's an easier, more fun process. So that's what you need to do. Like, step out of that old way. Understand that I need to get multiple offers for the Toyota, and I need to get multiple offers for my financing, and I do that right here from home, where nobody can come into my house and say, hey, you get into the dealer here. What are you doing there trying to shop from home? We see you. You're not going to break our programming on you. You better get up right now and walk into this dealership so we can charge you more. Who's going to do that? While you in your living room, while you at work? Dealers bidding while you at work. Never been to a dealership. It's freedom. Multiple offers. Yes, Lady V. That's my 2 favorite words. I swear, if I didn't wear unlearn, relearn, I'd be walking around with a shirt that said multiple offers. All right, let's go, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. We got time for a few more. Let's go. Few more questions. Atiba on Facebook. How is the best way to sell your personal car? Is that in the book? Yes, that's our equity assessment. Step 2. Step 2. Multiple offers. Get your 6 to 7 cash offers. And if you don't need to replace your car, just go and get your check. Do your inspection, get your check. Cash offers, CarMax, Driveway, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, Carvana, AutoNation, Car Gurus. You want to throw We Buy Any Car in there? 7 offers. Get your cash offers. Now, if you are replacing your car, we are timing the transaction. What that looks like is we get our bids for our old car, our current car, or our lease. We assess what our equity is, and then we go shop for the new car. And once we find the best offer for the new car, we then go in. We'll give the dealer a chance to match it, but they usually can't. Hey, I'm selling my car to We Buy Any Car. You know, they're giving me this. Can you beat it? No, that sounds crazy. I can't beat that, because they're not going to win 2 bids. They're not going to beat all of the new car dealers or the used car dealers to sell you a car. And then they can also beat all the used car cash buyers to buy your old car. They'll be out of business. So you go pick up your new car, drop off your old car, or go drop off your old car, get your check, drive over, pick up your new car. Maximize both transactions. It's a beautiful thing. That is the way it's done with us most of the time. Very rarely is the dealer we're picking up our car from the same one who's buying our old car. Very rarely. But yes, absolutely, that's in the book. All right, let's keep it going. Dolan, next one. Daniel Thompson. Deshone, I've been keeping an eye on a used vehicle that has been sitting on the lot for over 60 days. What is a good amount to ask off the sales price without teeing off the dealership? Thanks for your time. So if you've been watching the vehicle, and this is the benefit of being in the market early. Used car markets change. Used car trends change. You can see prices going up. You can see prices going down. You can save inventory that you've been looking at. You know, I show you in our multiple marketplace strategy how to save the cars that you're looking at. Create these save listings. Every new car that pops up, you get an alert for it. This is why when you know the market, like Daniel knows the market for this car, if he has on alerts, every new car that pops up, he knows about it first, and he can actually jump on that car quicker than anyone else, because other people will hesitate because they don't know the market. So they'll say, hey, what about this car? Oh, they just listed it today. It might not be a good deal. Well, Daniel will know if it's a good deal because he's been watching the market to know, yes, that's a good deal. No, it's not a good deal, because the really great deals where dealers say, hey, we're just going to move this car. We want it gone in 24, 48 hours. Those are not going to last. So literally, once they list them, you want to be able to say, oh, I saw that first and I know the market. Hey, you call. Oh, just got a cramp. Went to the gym earlier. Dehydrated. Went to flex and my arm said, no, you're not going to do that. So, but once you know the market, you literally can jump on things fast. Now, in the case of also watching the market, in this case, we see a vehicle that's sitting. Long as we verified there's no bogus fees on it, only fees on a car we're purchasing, used car or new, should be tax, documentation, and motor vehicles. That's it. Tax, documentation, motor vehicles. In some cases, in certain states, you may see smog or something. Should be very small. Very, very small. Shouldn't be anything else for $300, $400, $500, $600. Tax, motor vehicles, documentation fee. Those are all legit fees. Everything else is a made-up fee to try to make money. Now, there might be some value in some of the things. We have a service plan that we added that we selling on all our cars. Okay, but we got to compare that to the dealers who don't have that stuff. So what you want to do is look at the low side of the market, the way we teach. So if you're looking at the low side of the market, Daniel, for example, and you see, all right, all the low prices are 21 to 22. The cars go up to 24, 25, 26. I see some up there for 27. Okay, but the low side of the market is 21, 22. And this is how we watch the used car market, because we want to watch the low side. Now, the low side is going to be where the worst cars are. What do I mean by that? frame damage, salvage title. If you don't see a couple cars and you pull a Carfax and it says salvage or it says frame damage or it says 2 accident, you're not looking at the low side of the market. You're looking at the regular retail market, the regular middle of the market, the average prices. Because if you're shopping the low side and you're like, okay, between 21 and 22 is where the lower prices are, you're going to see some, oh man, look at these pictures. Now, car's all scratched up. Oh man, okay, man, this thing had 2 accidents. Oh man, this thing's salvaged. But then you pops up and you see one for 22. You pull the Carfax. Carfax looks good. Maintenance looks good. Boom. Oh, now you know. So Daniel, if you know the low side of the market, now you're trying to see maybe this car has been there. It's $2,000 more than the low side of the market, but maybe they're getting desperate. So you make an offer that's right where the low side of the market is. So let's say the low side of the market is 21, 22. This car is listed for 24, but you know this thing been there for 2 months. You make an offer of 21. They might say, hey, listen, no way we can do that. Most we can do is 22. In which case, you won. That's why you want to know where the low side of the market is. Because if they accept the offer and then your offer was too high, then you regret it. So if it's 24, it's been sitting there, you offer them 23, 22.5, they say, yes, we'll take it. Then it's like, man, was that the low side of the market? No, the low side of the market was 21 to 22. So let me offer 21, see if they'll bite. And if I land at 22, then I'm happy anyway. If I offer 21 and they say, look, no way we could do that. We could do 22.5. That's the lowest. We could blow this car out, and you won anyway. This is why knowing the market, this is all we teach. Whether you're in Shop with Deshone or a video checklist, or whether and watch this. The thing about our process is every time you use it, it gets quicker. So the longest it's ever going to take you to get a car using Cars from Home is the first deal. Second time you coming through and you're like, okay, I know what to do now. I know where to go now. Yeah, I remember this from my last time. I remember this. That's why Rosalie got her QX60 last year. And then she got 3 cars at once. Because she's like, I got mine. Now I just got to rinse and repeat 3 times for my sons. So that's what you need. That's where you base your offer on those things, Daniel. All right? All right, great job. All right. All right, it's go ahead, Dolan threw up one more. All right, I'm trying to see. I'm looking at time and I'm like, all right, let's go. All right. Is it true that finance bank will require a certain amount down to get you approved? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You can do no money down financing. Here's what's happening if anyone's requiring money down for finance. It could be based on your credit, but more often than that, it's based on how much you're trying to borrow relative to the price of the car. So let's say a car is $25,000. Now, this is how the ability to shop affects your deal in the long run. Because if you overpay, the bank is not going to tell you. It's not their job to say, yo, you're overpaying for this car. But here's what happens. Let's say a car that is a good deal would come in around $25,000. Good deal, good value. Now, you don't know what you're doing. You go in, you pay, you get a car, you're like, okay, man, I'm looking at this car, man, it's about $28,000. It's about $28,000. I love it. It's a nice car. Now, you're not looking at the market to see what the low side of the market is. You go in, and you could do this with a new car too. Tons of people did this during the pandemic. Went in, paid over sticker, 5-10 grand. Normally, the bank would not have approved those, but the banks were in cahoots with the dealerships because there's something called a loan to value ratio, which is why the banks are getting hurt right now because they approved deals on cars that they knew were worth 35, but they were approving loans for 50. Because dealers decided we want to sell this $35,000 car for $42,000. So once our client needs the loan with everything, and they might have a little negative equity, we need y'all to loan them $50,000 on a $35,000 car, and the banks did it, which is why they're falling apart right now, and they're going to continue to collapse. So when you look and say, whoa, if that's the case, how does the bank protect themselves? It should be loan to value ratios, which means this car that you're telling us you bought it for 28, your taxes and everything are, let's say they slapped on some fake fees on you and you're up there like, all right, man, I thought the car was 28. But when it's all said and done, I paid like 34 for it. Now you leave with that car for 34. The bank looks and says, or you're trying to get it for 34. The bank looks and says, whoa, the book value on this car is only 23. So actual cash value might be, we could lend, the actual cash value is like 23. We could lend 25. I could see if somebody bought it for 25. We could lend that because they'll usually give you 20% above what the actual car's value is. So we'll lend on the $25,000 car, we'll lend you $32,000. You're asking for 34. That means you've overpaid by so much, the bank can't approve it unless you get them to the loan to value ratios where they're comfortable. So they're going to say, you got to put down 2,500. You got to get to, you can't borrow no more than 32,000 on this car. You need to come up with 2,500, come up with 2,000. So whenever a dealership's coming to you and say, hey, listen, the bank needs you to come up with this, they're overcharging you. And you're about to take a deal being overcharged because you're overpaying for the car and the bank is saying, we're not taking on all of that risk. That person needs to put some more money down because I know y'all trying to sell them this $23,000, $24,000 car for 33, but we ain't going to help you do that no more. Now, this also happens with negative equity. People trying to move 5-10 grand negative equity over to their new car. And now it's like, oh, wait, the bank's saying you got to put money down. Same reason. So it's two cases, lots of negative equity, or you're overpaying, or both. But that's a signal. All right. Again, that's why we bid out transactions. When you get multiple offers on the car you're buying and multiple offers on the car you're selling that you have negative equity on, you can see, no, y'all not pulling wool over my eyes because I know the market. All right. And all of this is done from home. That is why our system and our teaching, our philosophy, our company is called Cars from Home. That should ground you in the fact that everything we're talking about, 99% of it is done from home. 99% in minutes, not hours, minutes. All right. So if you guys want your blueprint, if you're like, hey, Deshone, listen, great stream. I enjoyed it, learned a lot. No way I'm going to remember all of this. Can I get the whole blueprint step by step? That is my digital book, Cars from Home. This is specifically for people who are like, I don't like car shopping. I'm not going to know all of this stuff. I want to enjoy my car shopping process. I'm tired of having buyer's remorse. I'm tired of leaving the dealership hoping I won, wishing, I don't want to talk about my numbers. Don't even ask me what I'm paying. Don't ask me what I paid. Don't ask me like that. You can see people from our school, look, they're already always posting their numbers. They never post without posting their numbers because they're confident in them. $50,000 car for Ken, $585 a month, no money down. Look, Jen, she gets a 2025 Honda Pilot, $50,000 vehicle. She saves almost $6,000 off of the price, $5,600 off the price. We could do this all day long. Oh, this is a long one. Oh, graduated. I put $1,000 to hold the vehicle Saturday. The dealership we ended up made the best deal, easiest, quickest process, little over 2-hour drive away. That is a signal. What you're going to see a lot, and y'all are going to get used to it, is driving an hour, hour and a half to go to get that car from the dealer who won the bid. Convenience costs you money. Every one of our students, our book readers who use what we teach, they are absolutely prepared to be, oh man, the dealer that won the bid, they're taking off $15,000. Man, they're 2 hours away. That's a nice drive, ain't it? Nice drive. Oh man, I'm driving I never made this much money on a drive before. And then you start to see most of these local dealers, they think they got me because they see my zip code and they're like, well, this person ain't gonna shop. So listen, hit them at this price. They don't realize that that dealership an hour and a half away is like, hey, we got the car. Hey, we'll sell it to you for this. But they never expected you to find them because most people don't find them. So that is the Cars from Home system. It's very simple, 7-step process. I walk you through it. And in my digital book, you'll have all your questions answered because it's a step-by-step process. You literally just do one step, check it off. Next step, check it off. Next step, check it off. By the time you get to step 7, you're setting up your delivery of your car or you're going to pick it up. All right. But it's normally $97. Part of my welcome offer, 30 minutes only. You can go grab a copy for $24, 75% off, and you will have it in your inbox. Make sure as soon as you get your book, you screenshot the thank you page, has my support team's email on there, just in case the book's not in there in the next 10 minutes. Maybe you type your email wrong. Make sure you check your junk and your spam folders. But go grab your copy. You'll have everything that we teach in a step-by-step manner. You'll be able to get cars in 60 minutes, 90 minutes from home, and you'll start to enjoy the car shopping process. All right. You'll be sending me your email just like Marie and Ken and Milligan, all of these people. You'll be sending me your deals. Okay. And for those of you, you have a different learning style, you can look into, you've been seeing us sharing a lot of these Facebook posts from our group. Our Cars from Home Shop with Deshone program is video checklist instead of book checklist. So if you're like, I'd rather have some, 3 to 5 minute videos that I can watch and walk me through the steps, that's our Cars from Home Shop with Deshone program. We have our private Facebook group where you got 1,600 people that have come before you. They're always answering questions. I'm in there 4 or 5 days a week. And then we do 2 coaching calls a month, first and third Wednesday. We actually got one shortly we're going to have. And, you get hands-on guidance. So that's hands-on, and some of you might like us to totally shop for you. That's going to depend on if you qualify. I would rather teach you to fish. The only reason we created Done For You is really for the wealthy people. I don't want you paying us to go shop for you. I would rather teach you to fish. But I know there are people who your time is so valuable, whether it's the money you make per hour. I could show you how to do this in 60, 90 minutes, 2 hours, but you would still say, I'd rather you guys do that. I got money to make. I'd rather be with my family. I want to be doing other stuff. Here, I pay for services that I believe in. That's why we created Cars from Home Done For You. I would much rather all of you learn to fish so that you can do this over and over and over again. Teach your kids, teach your family, teach your cousins, teach your neighbors, so that everyone knows how to do this Cars from Home shopping process. Okay? But if you're in that category, in that class where you're like, Deshone, no, I'm that person, then you book a call with our team and see if we can help you with Cars from Home Done For You. All right, so that's our stream for today. We will be back. Lady V, I talked about the updates. I think you asked that question and then you jumped off the stream. So just watch the replay and you'll see. There's new videos coming to day 5. The 25 to 5 process is being updated. So just as soon as you asked that, we talked about that for maybe about 5 minutes on here. I guess you jumped off. But yes, we'll be back tomorrow, Thursday, noon Eastern time. Meet us here with your questions, and we look forward to it. We'll be rebroadcasting this for those who didn't catch the whole show. We'll be replaying this throughout the rest of the day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you. Thanks, D. All right, welcome to Car Shopping Mistakes Live. This is our Monday, May 12th episode. We are live Monday through Thursday from 12 to about 1:30. My name is Deshone. I'm known as Deshone the Auto Advisor. And what I do is make sure that people like you never overpay for cars. That's what we've been doing for the last 4 years online. And I spent over 14 years in the auto industry. Worked for General Motors for 5 years, Mercedes-Benz for 5 years, had my own new car brokerage. And now I focus on making sure you have the strategies you need from the inside. So what you're going to see is my perspective is very different, being inside dealers for 14 years. And so you can feel free to start typing your questions. Again, we are live every Monday through Thursday. You can mark your calendar so you don't miss a show at 12 noon Eastern time. And no question is off limits. There's really nothing that I think is going to catch me off guard. So, feel free to start throwing your questions out. First of all, who's shopping for a car? If you're shopping now, or you will be shopping in the next 6 months, type me in the comments. Who's shopping or will be shopping in the next 6 months? Because what you're going to see is you don't want to wait. A big part of what I teach is making sure you're positioned to get great deals, which is not waiting until it's an emergency. Now, sometimes you have an emergency, your car is totaled, your car was stolen, you have less than 30 days with your rental car and you have to get a car. That's different. But we don't want to go into a $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 transaction waiting till the last minute. So who's shopping for a car? Let us know in the chat. Let me know. Hey, yours truly. Great to see you. Great to see you on YouTube. We are live on 4 platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So I have my man Dolan, the best moderator in the world, bringing your questions in. So no matter what platform you're on, you can start typing your questions. Now, this whole stream is going to be sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home. 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. It's already 5-star rated. If you look on goodreads.com, thank you to everyone who has reviewed the book. You've sent me your stories. You sent me your testimonials. You sent me your deals. Continue to do that. I love getting those emails. It makes a big difference. People like Marie, she got 13,000 off using the book, using the steps. It's a simple do-it-yourself blueprint to really, really maximizing all the money in your car deals. And you can get a copy for the next 2 hours for 75% off. It's normally $97, but as part of our book launch special, you got your copy for 75% off, $24. So you can go to my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. We have a link for you, and you can grab your book. You won't leave the stream. And you can come on back. Feel free to ask as many questions as your heart desires. All right. Good to see you, Nikki. Happy Monday. Great to see you. All right. So, okay, Dolan, let's start bringing in the first question. I want to check in on Instagram. And yours truly on YouTube asks, which fees can be negotiated on an offer for a used car? Great question. There's only 3 legitimate fees on every car when you're purchasing it pre-owned. Doc fee. Some people, you'll hear people say, "Oh, doc fees are made up fee." It's a legitimate fee. In fact, when you look on the purchase order, which is that long form after you get your car, you'll see it's oftentimes it's printed on there. So is it all profit for the dealership? Yes, it is, but it also is legitimate. Your DMV fees, plates, license, registration, and your taxes. So those are the legitimate fees. Now, what are not legitimate fees? Anything that's not those 3. The prep fee, the marketing fee, the service plan, internet fee. All of these things are absolutely made up. Absolutely made up. Now, what you're seeing now is you'll see, and this is why you never want to go into the dealership looking for a car that you didn't see online first. Online is where we create the competition. Once you're there, we've lost our leverage. That's why everything we teach is called Cars from Home. 99% of your transaction can and should be done from home, where you can see that fine print, where you can actually you can see the dealers who don't have the fake fees before you get out there and waste your time with the ones who do. So you'll see all types of made up fees. Now, what is also being made up, let's go a little deeper on this, is the people, all right, if I put a mandatory service plan on my car, there's value there. It's not like the internet fee, which is just a ripoff, or the prep fee, which is just a ripoff. There's a service plan built in. Okay, then we have to determine if there's value there for us. There's a key replacement built in. But here's how I would like you to think, yours truly, and anyone who's in a similar situation. Anyone who'll be shopping for a used car, type the letter U. I want to drop a couple things for you to keep in mind and lock in. If you're going to be shopping for a pre-owned car, type the letter U. So yours truly, when we're looking at cars, what we want to do is we want to see. Oh, sorry, hold on. Thank you to everyone who shared this broadcast with a friend. I appreciate it. If everyone shares with one friend, we'll change the auto industry in less than a year. So you want to look at, as you're looking online, you want to be able to see the low side of the market for the car you're shopping for. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're shopping for once you have your budget, you want to try to get as new of a car as possible. If you don't see cars in that budget, go 1 year back. I always like to do 100 miles. You don't want to just do this neighborhood shopping, because again, as someone who's been in dealerships, or who was in dealerships for 14 years, I can never be in dealerships now. No dealership I wouldn't want to work in a dealership, but there's no person who could tell you guys the unfiltered truth and be in a dealership. They're going to get fired. So, but here's what you'll see. The total cost is what matters relative to how much the car was when it was brand new. I don't want you to pay attention to what they're offering the car for, because that is a made up number based on algorithms and market. Who's ever seen somebody, sometimes you're on a website and it'll say, this car it's a fair deal, it's a good deal, it's a great deal. Who's seen that? That's based on an algorithm. It's not real value. Here's what's real value. Let's say you're looking at 4 Honda Pilots. They're asking $22,000 for one, $23,000 for the other, $24,000 for the other, $25,000 for the other. So 22, 23, 24, 25, right? Now you're looking and you're like, well, these cars look a little similar. This one, what's the best deal? Once you get the new window sticker of that Honda Pilot, you'll see one of these Honda Pilots was $45,000 when it was new. This other one was $46,000 when it was new. But this other one was $53,000 when it was brand new. And that's the one that's actually giving me the biggest discount. That's the value. Without knowing the original price of that car, we can't determine what value we're getting in the price they're offering us. And when we don't do this, we make this mistake. We end up doing what some people did during the pandemic. They paid the same price for pre-owned cars as they were when they were new. Everyone didn't do that, but a lot of people did, because they thought this was my only option. There were people who paid $27,000 for a Toyota Camry that was brand new, $28,000. This is how we prevent that. When we call that in Cars from Home, in my book, the true value discount. And this is how I bought my Infinity truck. I was literally looking at 3 of them. 4 of them. They all had similar prices from 30 to 31.8. And literally the one of them was 46, one of them was 48, one of them was 52, and one of them was 55. So when you do that math, and I have a calculator in my book that does it for you, but it's simple. You just put the MSRP in and you create and you divide the asking price into the MSRP. And you'll see, oh, wow, this deal is giving me 42% off. This deal is giving me 30% off. So you see how simple it is now to shop when you look at it, when you're looking at it that way. Oh, this deal is giving me 30% off the original price. This deal is giving me 44% off the original price. Then you weigh those things out. Now, how? I know what some of you are thinking, Deshone, how do we get the original window sticker? You get the original window sticker. Some brands have it on the Carfax. They have a deal with Carfax. And then sometimes you can Google Maroney label. You're looking for this. I'll show a picture of Maroney label. That's a window sticker. This is what you're looking for. Maroney label. And you can do window sticker, new window sticker. There is a service out there that gets them for $5. Again, I'm not affiliated with it, but here's what you should be looking at. That $5 is like my inspection on a home. I'm only doing this for my top 3 to 5 cars. Top 3 to 5. And once I get that, boom, now, if you're not doing this, there's no way you can get great deals on used cars. It is literally impossible because all you're doing is basing it off of smoke and mirrors. So I'm here to tear back, to reveal this whole industry is smoke and mirrors. It's all about psychology, and it's not about you winning. It's about dealers making you think you won. Hold up. Wait. Wings Buff on Instagram said the audio is not working. I smell sabotage towards you. Let me know if the audio is not coming through clear. Let me know, and we'll try to adjust it. I don't know. Yes, exactly, Amanda. It's called real value. Real value. We call it the true value discount. That's what it's called. So it's biggest discount from the original price. So when you're out looking for pre-owned cars, your only mission is to look at, you can ask the dealer sometimes, hey, you got the original price of the car? Again, you don't buy a new car without it. Thanks, Creole Queen. I appreciate it. She said on TikTok, we're fine on TikTok. I don't know why it may be coming through different on Instagram, but maybe log out, log back in, and let us know if it's something that is just coming through on Instagram. But you'll see the difference. Type $signs if y'all understand that before we move on, because we got a lot more questions coming in. But without getting the new car price of the used car, it's impossible. We can make up a price. We can literally just make up a price. Oh, we're asking $32,000 for the car. How do you know that's a good price? But when you know, oh, that car was originally $61,000, they're asking $32,000 for it. Oh, I saw another one over here. They're asking $30,000, but the original price was $50,000. It's not a good, you get what I'm saying? Lower price, which is what most people flock to. Oh, this one over here is $1,000 less. But that $1,000 less is getting you $8,000 less vehicle. Okay? Type $signs. All right. Yours truly said she's good. Did y'all get that? Y'all getting this? Let me know if y'all getting this. All right. Thanks, Sweet Now. All right. We are live. This is our Monday, May 12th show. We do these shows Monday through Thursday, 12 noon to about 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll also rebroadcast the replay throughout the day. So if you couldn't catch it live, definitely catch the replay, and you'll be able to catch up on anything you missed. EJ, great to see you on Facebook. How do I buy a Tesla since they only are online and at one price? Great question. You don't negotiate with Teslas because they are actually one price. So when you look at a Tesla, you're actually looking at something none of the car dealers do, but they want to make you think they do it. One price, which means when you come into a Tesla in New Jersey, same price in California, same price in Florida, same price in North Dakota. Every other brand Every single car is individually owned and operated. Every car dealership. And, I remember like somebody came on the show and said, oh, Nissan is overpriced. I said, no, whatever Nissan dealer you went to was overpriced. There's another one probably 10 miles away. There's another one 15 miles away. There's probably 8 more of them within 25 or 30 miles. When they can make you think, oh, we're all the same, they got you. Big mistake. Very expensive mistake. Thinking every dealer is the same. They're all different. Even the ones that are owned by the same people, most times are still in some competition with each other. But Tesla, unless you're buying a pre-owned one price, no matter where you go, no negotiation. That's what it is. No other brand is like that, though. Go ahead, Dolan. Next question. Good to see you, Nia. Good to see you, Chantel Davis. Vanessa, good to see you, Maze of Empathy. Jonas checking in on TikTok. Great to see everybody checking in. Yes, exactly. Now, I'm actually pulling up something from my first book. It was called 52 Car Buying Questions Smart People Don't Ask That Cost Them Thousands. One of the questions was, how, when, and why should you visit a car dealership? How, when, why? There's only 3 reasons to be in a car dealership. 3 reasons. That's it. You're there to pick up your car because they don't deliver. You're there to test drive a car, or you are there to have your car that you're selling them appraised. That's it. You're meeting with the used car manager to have a car appraised. That's it. Everything else we do at home if you want to get the same results that the people are getting who are getting. Look, this is Christopher. Thanks so much for these resources. Read your entire book last night. I've already been underway trying to put my deal together. What a great book. I have my quotes together, and now I'm ready to take the next step with the calculator. Now, what he's talking about, notice he said I have my quotes, plural, because we teach something called the 25-to-5 strategy. You're connecting with 25 dealers. This is for new cars and leases. Different process for used cars. You're connecting with 25 dealers online. I'd show you how to do that in 20 minutes. This is not car buying school. We're getting these cars and these deals in literally less time than it takes you to visit one dealership and buy a car. You'll be there for 8-9 hours. We'll put in a couple hours over a couple days. And I'm getting them. Eventually, you'll be able to be as quick as me. I get cars in 60 minutes. Does not matter what I want, 60 minutes. If I'm following up on a deal a couple of months, maybe 90 minutes is going to take me. You'll get there eventually, but in the beginning, take you a couple hours from home. Because what you're doing is you're creating a competition. You're using the internet to create a competition. So we get 5 offers on every car. We will not buy a car without 5 offers, because the only way that you're going to see the 80%, we call them the 80%. That's 80% of dealers that are overpriced. The only way you're going to see that is to get 5 offers. It's going to blow your mind. That's when the veil is lifted. The first time now, if you want to do it your way, you want to call around, get the offers, call around, ask for it, try to not, fine, do it that way. As long as you talk to enough dealers to get 5 offers, because then you're going to see, whoa, they've been playing me. How is it that I'm shopping for the same car? I called and got the same. I called on this Hyundai Sonata. One dealer's telling me it's $480 a month. One dealer's telling me it's $450 a month. One dealer's telling me it's $420. One dealer's telling me it's $375. Another dealer's telling me it's $340. That's when you know you did it right. So and here's how you know you've done it right. If you don't see a $3,000 to $5,000 spread from your best offer, which we call the 20% dealers, to the worst offer, you didn't shop correctly. We have people all around the country, We've been helping people since 2021. In fact, during the pandemic, we had people really killing it because they were selling their cars for 7 grand, 12 grand more, putting that equity in their bank, doing leases, no money down. So it was a phenomenal time for people who had cars to replace and were making dealers bid to get their new cars. So doesn't matter the market. But until you actually do it, you're not going to, it's harder for you to believe it. You get what I'm saying? It's harder for you to believe, wait, you mean 8 out of 10 dealers are overpriced? 8 out of 10. That's why you must get 5 offers for you to see, wow. My highest offer is $200 a month more, and that's my local dealer. That's the dealer that's 20 minutes away, because oftentimes some of your closest dealers, when they see your zip code, they'll be like, oh, this person is not going to shop us. Let's give them this offer. It's that dealer that's 45 minutes away, an hour away, when they get your notification on their website and they're like, whoa, okay, this is a person in our competitor's market. Let's take this deal from our competitor. It's going to blow your mind. And then it'll be changed. Right now, you're just being exposed to the information. And the same thing on used cars. The best value used cars are $3,000 to $5,000 less than the highest price used cars. It's just what it is, because 80% of dealers are going to, even when they say it's their best deal. Who's had a dealer say that to them? That's our best deal. That's the best deal we can do. Listen, that's the best deal we can do. Who's had that? Raise your hand. Who's in their car buying purchase, in their shopping, has heard a dealer at any time say, hey, that's it. That's the best deal we got, right? They're not lying. They're just not going to do, they'd rather you leave and they'll sell the car to someone else. Because they're like, we're not going lower than this. But here's the thing, their competition will. That's their best offer. It's not their competition's best offer. So it's very important to understand that. Okay? All right, let's go, Dolan. Let's keep it going. Next question. Oh, good day. I'm glad you got the book, EJ. Use it. Win. Send me your success stories. Continue to just follow it step by step. Ask yourself, what step am I on? It's like a checklist. Boom, that step's done. Go to the next one. Boom, check. Go to the next one. Hey, I'm looking for a car right now. I have 7 to 10 grand. Which way should I go? Well, I mean, if that's your budget, you probably can look for, and this is not what I teach, but I do have we call this a smart car. It's not that type of smart car. The little one stands for saving money at the right time. And if I got 7 to 10, what I'm looking for, I'm on Facebook. I'm looking for something. See, and this depends on what you need. See, needs, you pay for 5 things in a car. You pay for 5 things. Remember this. Size. So anyone who's like, oh man, I need to save money. Here's what and let me actually tell you why I want you to know this. When I was in Mercedes-Benz, right? We had people come in. I remember a woman came in. She's like, okay, I got kids. I need the one with the 3 rows. All right. So she needed the one with the 3 rows. We go through it. We pick it out. Once we get her a price on it, it's way outside of her budget. Now, here's what she says. Oh, what about the one, the 2-row one? Now, my question to her, because I'm an advisor, even when I was a car salesperson, I was still, and my brand was Mr. Mercedes. So the people who are in New Jersey, I created the Mr. Mercedes brand. And I said, didn't you tell me you had kids and you needed the 3rd row? She said, oh, yeah. So I said, why are we even discussing a 2-row vehicle then? She's like, yeah, no, you're right. I'm like, this is just not the vehicle for you. And that's okay. But the worst thing you can do is to go smaller than you need on a vehicle. Because now you're not going to like the vehicle in literally the vehicle's not functional for you. So size is very important. That's why I created something called the smart sacrifices. When the budget starts to get tight, You have to know, what can I take out? So size, amenities. Amenities is, do I need the leather? Do I need the navigation? Do I need the sunroof? Do I need the big sunroof? Do I need the wheels, the fancy wheels? These are amenities. You got power. You pay for power. Do I need the engine? Do I need the bigger engine? Can I go with the standard engine? And then here's where the money starts to really go high. Class. So you look at Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Okay, that's class. You go to the next class, you're looking at, let's go Infiniti, Acura, Lincoln, Genesis. These are the next class, which means you can have a vehicle, same size, same amenities. It's 10,000, 15,000 more, different class. Then we go, and of course you have Mercedes, BMW, Jaguar is somewhere in between, Lexus. These are going up in class. So, and then the last thing you pay for, which is really expensive, is exclusivity. So when you have a vehicle, oh, no one else has this vehicle, you're going to pay for that. You can have a super small vehicle. It doesn't have a lot of features, but no one has it. It's a ton of money. So as you're looking at your car with a $7,000 to $10,000 budget, you got to ask yourself, what can I take out? And I say, don't let it be size. Go with the smallest vehicle that will suit your needs, and then get the lowest number of amenities that'll suit your needs, the lowest amount of power, and then you look for the most recent vehicle. And I would look for something, let's just say, for example, someone's looking at a Mazda 3. It's a $25,000 vehicle, brand new. I don't need the leather. I don't need the fancy stuff. I don't need a big bunch of power. I could probably find one for 10 grand that's not too old, maybe about 5-6 years old, if I'm looking correctly. But you have to know what you can live without, because if you go and do what most people do, most people are not going to listen to what I'm saying. They're going to go out and they're going to buy a big SUV with leather and all the features, and then they're going to get a 9-year-old one with no warranty because there's just no discipline there. See, the things I'm talking about, the disciplined people, the people who are financially astute, who's like, Deshone, I never knew that car buying was this serious. How, like, I'm overspending by $5 grand every car, a minimum. There's no way that you're not. So these things weren't taught to you. None of us were taught how to buy a car. We were literally indoctrinated into, this is how you get cars, ladies and gentlemen. And who indoctrinated us into that? The auto industry. The auto industry. No one told us, oh, create competition, shop for cars like you shop for other things online. There is an internet, there is. No one taught us that. So you have to say to yourself, all right, boom, I got to unlearn so that I can relearn the new way to make sure every time I get a car that I love and I get the most for my money, which is not what most people are doing out here. There's blood in these streets. You hear people, oh, there's no cars, there's no deals. They're walking in the dealer saying this stuff. Like, you're going into a person who wants to sell you something and giving them all the strategy, all the ammunition to sell you, raise the price. Hey, man, I've been looking for this car. Not many people has it. Cha-ching. Thank you for telling me that. Oh, man, the tariffs are coming too, right? I hear the tariffs are coming, so things are getting more expensive, right? Yep, absolutely. Yes, they are, Mr. Customer. Thanks for saying all of this stuff. That's how most people buy cars. That's why the auto industry is just printing money on the public. So you got to change your behavior, and that's what we do here. And it's easy, and it's fun. You look at the people. Look, and we'll take some more questions because I see we got one that just came from Nurse Gregory. I got you on TikTok. So this is our Monday, May 12th live show. So we are live. You can feel free to type your question. We rebroadcast this show throughout the day, but we are live every Monday through Thursday at 12. So, but look, when you look at the confidence from Brian. Look, just finalized my deal. First ever lease using your system. 2025 Honda HR-V Sport, $30,000 MSRP, $395 a month, 1.2 ratio. That means he understands how to value leases when he's putting his ratio. 12,000 miles, 36,000 miles, 36 months, no money down. Initial quote was 434. Then he used our calculator, and the counter offer came down to 394. Listen to the confidence. Look, I bought your book, use your system, just closed my deal, have positive results to report. A caveat is I wanted a newly released 2026 Genesis, not even out yet, not even out, GB70. And there are no incentives. I could have gotten incentives on the 2025. However, I wanted the 2026, was willing to pay. I reached out to 20 dealers. We show you how to reach out to 25, but on a Genesis, may not have been as many dealers because it's more of a luxury brand. They haven't built as many dealers for Genesis yet. He says he received 9 offers. Look, that's how we know when you're doing it right. 5 offers, 9 offers, 7 offers. How many offers do you get? Thanks, y'all, for running those likes up on TikTok. Could y'all just keep double tapping the screen every time you hear something you like? You're going to see those likes continue to run up. See, this is it. I'm happy with this. Look, he gets an $815 a month payment on a $58,000 vehicle, 1.4. Now, again, 1.4 is incredible value when you add up those payments relative to the MSRP and taxes. Our goal with leases is to be under 1.5%. Now, I know for a fact he could have gotten about 1.2 on a 2025 Genesis because I just saw a person who's using our system get that. Phenomenal deal. But he wanted that 2026. So he gets his bids. And again, until you see the other offers that are 150, if every single time you get a car, you're not seeing $3,000 to $5,000 minimum from the car you get to the other offers that were offered to you, then you weren't shopping correctly. And again, if you want to do it yourself, you want to call around to get quotes, feel free to do that. We do this all online without talking. Who doesn't like to talk to dealers? Type me in the chat. You don't like to talk to dealers. So the people who are using our stuff, they're not going in trying to remember, oh, I'm in the dealership now. Let me say, what did Deshone tell me to say? All right. Oh, man, I'm not supposed to tell them about my trade-in. That's old 2005 stuff that car dealers been on. We've been knew about that stuff, that you were holding your trade-in till the end. That's why we're going to ask you questions that you're not really ready for. Hey, Paul. Hey, good to see you, Paul. Thanks for jumping in, coming in today. The car you drove up in, whose car is that? That's what you've been driving for a couple of years? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's yours. Okay, perfect. So we are already trained to ask you questions that we're going to get the information. So the only way, I'm not training you to go in and do battle and negotiate with someone who negotiates 3 times a day, 5 days a week. When you step back, start making dealers negotiate with themselves. That's what bidding is. You're going to see, whoa, it's easier to save money from home than it ever was going in a dealership. All right. Good to see you, Jamel, on YouTube checking in. Good to see you, Paul, on Facebook checking in. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And for those who, hold on, let me see. Do I got any sharers? Who shared the broadcast? Raise your hand so far. Raise your hand so far if you shared the broadcast with a friend or if you hit the share button. Nurse Gregory? All right, Nurse Gregory, send me a DM. You got a free copy of my book. Let's see. That's it. I don't think we have any. No, if you share now, it's too late. So I wanted, let me see. Because Nurse Gregory, you have been on the show for a little minute. See, I do that stuff every now and then. I do that stuff every now and then. That's why when I ask you guys, like, to help me get this message out so we can help more people, you never know when I'm going to just say, you know what? You got a free copy of the book. So, I ask you guys to continue to share this broadcast so that we can help more people. Like, this is not about, because follow me. until most of the country is actually shopping from home, it makes our job shopping from home a little bit harder, because literally dealers know on a weekend, they come to us on Friday, hey, how many appointments we got? We got 200. 200 over the weekend. So they expect you guys to walk in. So until that goes from 200 to 100, and they're like, whoa, what's going on here? Whoa, people are not really walking in anymore. We're getting half the appointments. Oh, wait, what's going on? We only have 50 appointments. Memorial Day weekend, we got 100. We're normally at 300 appointments over a Memorial Day weekend. So until we start doing this collectively, it's hurting. It makes all of our jobs a little bit harder. So that's why I appreciate the people who share the broadcast. Yep, send me a DM. Okay, so let's go. We got more questions coming in, so pull them up, Dolan. Let's go. And this whole stream is sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's already 5-star rated. And, I'm reading a couple of the testimonials. Thank you to the people on Goodreads who reviewed that book. Thank you so much. And it's normally $97, but as part of our welcome offer, you can get yours for $24. That's 75% off. You can go to my TikTok bio. It's only for 2 hours. So once that 2-hour timer goes to zero, price does go back up to $97. So head to my TikTok bio, the Instagram bio, YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. Grab yours for $24. Save you 75%, and just use it. It's a step-by-step blueprint checklist to dominating the car market. Okay? And someone remind me to talk about the 3 pillars of great car deals before I end the show. Please, the 3 pillars of great car deals. We got about another 45 minutes, but remind me before we end the show. If you don't operate with the 3 pillars, there's no way you can get a great car deal. And I know this sounds like bad news, but I can't get you the good news. I'm like a financial doctor, and we have financial cancer when it comes to cars. So it's not a pleasant thing, but we can get you to the other side. You're losing a ton of money. You're losing equity. You don't even know you can sell cars without the title that you haven't paid off yet. You don't know you can sell leases. All of this stuff is costing you thousands and thousands of dollars, but we can get you to the other side. Third, so nowadays, it's always better to just buy new, especially if you plan on keeping the car long term. No, absolutely not. If I'm keeping the car long term, there's something. So step 1 in our book is called the 8-year rule. It's the 8-year rule. Who's always wanted to know what's better, buying or leasing? Type me if you've always been like, Deshone, I hear about buying, I hear about leasing. When is it better? When is it better to buy? When is it better to lease? Who's had that question? We have an anchor called the 8-year rule, which answers the question. The next car you're buying, how many years are you planning to keep it? Type it in the chat. We had a bunch of people that said they'll be shopping. The next car you're going to be purchasing, how many years do you plan to keep it? Okay, Nurse Gregory, I see 5. Okay, let's get some more answers. How many years do you plan on keeping the next car you are going to purchase? 2 to 3 years, Jamel Singletary. Perfect. Good to see you, Jamel. Rain King Leo on Instagram, 2 to 4 years. Perfect. Okay. Paul on Facebook says as long as possible. You got to go with a year. See, that's the reason why. See, the longest possible, well, give me a year, a number of years, because you're going to see people be like, oh, I plan on keeping that car, and I didn't do the research to even find out that the car wouldn't last that long. So, I'm not going to buy certain cars planning to keep them as long as possible, because it says literally around 100,000 miles, I'm going to start having problems with them. So if I buy them pre-owned, then I get to 80,000 miles. I mean, car starts having, so we need years. Mel Nelson on Facebook, 9. Paul, I see you, 10. Okay, Danielle Rosario on YouTube, 5 at least. So check this out. Roashu, I'm sorry, I probably butchered your name, on Instagram, 6. All right, DJ Ant Nice on TikTok, 6. Okay, 8-year rule says If your answer to that question was 8 years or longer, you should be shopping for a purchase, new or pre-owned, depending on your budget. Now, if your answer was less than 8, then you should be shopping for a lease. Both of these things come with caveats. Below market. Not these lease deals you see on commercials. Those are not lease deals. I don't even call them deals. None of those prices, as you guys see me share the leases that my students get all around the country and the people who read my book, you're going to be like, wait a minute. Those don't sound anything like the prices I see on the commercials. They're not. We get below market leases. And most of the time with no money down. We always shop with no money down. On a purchase, you need a below market purchase. Again, you should see $3,000 to $5,000 above on other cars that you didn't buy. So the car you got, whether you're purchasing it or leasing it, it should be $3,000 to $5,000 below the other offers that you've seen, the other cars that you've seen online. So when we look and say, do we go new or pre-owned? And I know some of you got shocked with who was taught never lease a car. Like when I just said the 8-year rule, and I said, hey, all of you who your answer, Jamel, 2 to 3, you should be shopping for a below market lease. Dario, YouTube, you should be shopping for a below market lease. Madison, Marv on Instagram, below market lease. Yep. Rain, you've had your car for 3 years. You're already debating getting rid of it. You should be shopping for a below market lease. Yep. Nurse Gregory, below market lease. DJ Ant Nice, below market lease. We'll talk about that in a little bit. You can ask why. But raise your, if you were taught never get a lease, never lease a car, let us know in the chat and we'll handle that. But I want to answer the rest of this question because he asks, is it always better to buy new? So if his answer, for those of you who said, I'm keeping more than 8 years, I'm not breaking the 8-year rule, I'm shopping, don't think about leasing. You're keeping at least 8 years, leasing should not even be in your vocabulary. Now, new or pre-owned. That's based on 2 things. First is budget, because you want to go over your needs and say, what do I need? Can I get everything I need in a car for my budget? New? No. Most times, you can't. So if you have a large budget and you're like, Deshone, I could actually go new or pre-owned. What should I get? Now that's a matter of your values. The values say, I've had 2 groups of people, long-term people. When I was in dealerships, some of you know I was with Mercedes for 5 years, General Motors for 5 years. I've been in the auto industry for 14 years. People would say, Deshone, man, I only get a new car. I'm like, I only get a new car every 10 years. That's why I get my new car. I'm going to treat myself. That's values. Now, some people say, well, I could afford both, but you know what? I want to knock 20, 30, 40% off the price. That's values. So it's a matter of your values. If you can afford both. But no, there's no one-size-fits-all formula. That's what got you guys in trouble. That's where you get in trouble at. Listening to people online and say, all of you should do this. All of you who's heard people say, this is the funniest thing in the world to me. Who's heard people say some teachers, car gurus who've only bought 30 cars in their life, they think they're a guru. Who's heard them say, never buy a new car? No one should ever buy a new car, ever. Who's heard that? Who's heard that? Who's heard that? I'm going to tell y'all how funny this is and how bad this advice is. And one day, I would love to be on a panel with like people who talk cars. All I need is 10 minutes. We're gonna rip them from leasing down to everything. So everyone should buy a used car, right? Oh, wait, I don't want to talk about your dad though. Miss Uday, she said I heard it from my dad. All right, but your dad probably is not saying everyone should buy used cars. There are people who say, all right, Paul, you've heard it. All right, Rain King Leo, you've heard it. So let me ask you a question. If we ask some of these people who swear, hey, none of you should ever buy, and they talk to millions of people, and they preach this, no one should ever buy a used car. So here's the question. how do the cars become used? If no one should buy a pre-owned car, if no one should buy a new car, rather, how do the cars become used? So let's just say you could snap your fingers. So if you had it your way, no one would buy a used car. No one would ever buy a used car, ever. So you snap your fingers, that would be your wish, right? Yes, exactly. So how do the cars become used then? So if something that you're suggesting could not get 100% market penetration, it's not a good idea. It's not realistic. There are people who should be leasing new cars below market. When you lease a car, you get a brand new car that year, 2025, all the latest and greatest. You're the first driver, unless you get a demo, which has maybe, it's a couple months old, within a couple thousand miles. But other than that, it's a new car. That's what you're leasing. Got to get multiple offers or they're going to overcharge you. You'll go in, you try to go in and, hey, work me up a lease deal. You'll be like, whoa, this doesn't sound like what Deshone said those leases. But that's got to say, because we don't go into dealerships to get lease prices. We stay at home and get multiple prices from home. You're walking into an 80% dealer. But yes, that's the difference. So the 8-year rule is to be your anchor for when I should actually be buying or leasing. And then once you go and say, I'm buying because I'm keeping 8 years, then you let your budget dictate whether you're going to shop new or used. And then you if you could afford both, it's a matter of your values. You want to treat yourself to a new car because you can afford it, make sure you get a below market deal, multiple offers, or do I want to get a pre-owned car so I can knock 20, 30, 40% off the price? Okay. All of this is in my digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get your copy for 75% off for the next 2 hours. That's our welcome offer. And you'll have everything I teach about how to get below market leases, below market purchases, below market bank bidding wars. We created something called the bank bidding war. For those of you who are going to need a loan, where do you get your loan from? Some of you say the dealer. Some of you say, oh, I get it from my credit union. Some of you say, oh, I get it from my bank. This needs to be a bid, because whenever you're doing it like that, you don't know. How do you know for sure that that was the best interest rate you could have got? 2 points on a loan could be $2,000. 2 points. So if somebody said, oh, I'm paying 6.9, but you could have got 4.9, literally thousands of dollars. So, and again, that goes into the 3 pillars of great car deals. We haven't discussed that yet. We'll do that before the end of the show. All right, let's go. More. Oh, by the way, for those of you who I didn't finish the sentence, you want your copy at 75% off instead of the $97, which is the normal price. You get it for $24. Head to my TikTok bio. There's a link there. Click it, and then head to my Instagram bio. There's a link there, and then we have a comment in the Facebook and YouTube comments for you to grab your copy for 75% off. Once it's 2 hours expires, goes back up to $97, and it's still worth every penny, because as you can see, Marie used it and she saved $13,000. So what's her return on the investment of $24? Just wanted to reach out, say thank you. Using your guide, which is the book, I saved over $13,000 off MSRP, got my payment to be hundreds lower per month and maintenance included, no money down. Just wanted to say thank you. Keep sending me these emails, y'all. I love bringing these emails onto the show. Like our world, that what we do with these cars it's a whole different world. Like, that's a great show, but it's also our life. Like, different, it's a different world. We operate in a different world. I got a lot of books on my shelf here. I cannot tell you books that actually give me ROI like Cars from Home. Like, she bought a $24 book. Even she might have got it for $97. And she saved $13,000 on one transaction. What about her significant other if she has one? What about her children? What about her family and her household? What about when her mom or dad needs a car? It's endless ROI for one investment. Okay? So shout out to everybody that got their copy. Please keep sending me your emails. I love getting them. Let's go, Dolan. Next question. Awesome, DJ and Nice. You're gonna love it. Like, let me just say this one thing. Keep Dario's Dario from YouTube. Keep his question up. But I want to say this to you, DJ and Nice. My niece, she's 20. Some of you heard me talk about her on earlier streams. She told me, listen, Uncle, when she asked me, what should I do? I said, I knew she's not keeping the car 8 years. I asked her because there are some young people who just are not into cars. Like they will literally drive one car long term, but typically in your 20s, things are changing, jobs are changing, families changing. Your needs for the car may change. So I'm like, listen, 8-year rules. You should be shopping for a lease. You're going to save way more money. Most people go out there and they'll tell you go buy a used car, and they'll put you in a used car for $300, $400, $15,000 is only, that's $300 a month. They'll go and put you in a, $400 payment, $20,000 used car, $18,000 used car. You barely got a warranty. Maybe you got no warranty. So in a year, 2 years, you better have a tow truck on speed dial, just so, you never know. You get what I'm saying? Not saying it's a bad car. Used cars, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, no warranty. You better have roadside assistance. So I said, let's do this. Pick a new car, go drive one, pick one under $30,000. Because she said, I would like my payment to be like, under $350. I'm like, all right. She's got her credit to where it needs to be. This is why we should have our young people with their first credit card early, or as a what's the term? It's slipping my mind. When we add our people to our account as parents, authorized user. And so she goes out, she drives the Hyundai Sonata. I said, okay, perfect. She said, I like the car. We get her offers. We started getting offers for her Thursday. By Saturday morning, her best offer was $338. We sent out counter offers because I have a counter offer calculator in my book. So when we get the offers, this stuff takes you minutes. Again, I'm not inviting anyone to college to be a car salesman. I'm inviting you to a system that will help you get cars in 90 minutes. So we get her offers. We send out the counter offer. We're probably going to land somewhere around because she only needs 10,000 miles. She's probably going to be about $295. Brand new car, 2025, $26,000 car. And so compare that. You get what I'm saying? So when you say DJ, and that was my experience. When I worked for General Motors, I went and leased my Pontiac. My boss is the one who showed me how to do it. I didn't even understand leasing. I was 22. He said, listen, even though I was selling leases, I was just a number. Most car salesmen are this. Y'all, this sound familiar? All right. That's what you want, sir? You like the car? Is this the color? Okay. Let me go get the numbers from my manager. You get what I'm saying? They don't understand the numbers. And that's how I was at 22. I didn't understand the numbers until I got hired at Ray Katina. And Ray Katina, all his salespeople are finance managers too. So that's where I learned the numbers. But before that, I didn't know how this thing worked. But anyway, I'm leasing my first car, $256 a month, Pontiac G6. Brand new car. My other friends out here, they driving other cars, $400, $500 payments. Used cars. So you're going to love it. Like the money is it stays in your bank account, which is our goal. All right, Dario, let's get to you, my man. I'm about to finance my first car at 23 years old with a 769 credit score. Wow. I guess I should have read that question before I just went off on that whole story about my niece and everything. Let's look at Dario's answer to the 8-year rule. Dario, did you answer the question? Dario, how many years are you going to keep this? 5 at least. This is the part. This is the part where I don't know what to do. You get what I'm saying? Help me out here. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like there are times where I literally don't know what to do with this. Everybody, we talked about the 8-year rule, right? We went deep on the 8-year rule. I asked everybody I said, how many years are you keeping your next car? Everybody tapped in 10, 8, 9, 7, 5, 3, 2. I said, okay. Step one is the leasing versus buying question. What's going to save me more money? If you are not keeping your car 8 years, you are absolutely overspending by not getting a below market lease. Then, which I didn't even count on, DJ Ant Nice comes and says, hey, man, you talked me into getting this lease because I want to save the most money possible, and I'm not keeping the car 8 years. Then I walk you through a scenario where my niece, her first car, she's 20. She's about to lease a brand new Hyundai Sonata, and her payment's going to be $295 a month. Add that up, $295 a month for 3 years, $295 a month times 36 is $10,620. That is her payments over 3 years. $10,620 over 3 years, which means if we look at the $26,000 car she's getting, and then we look at the taxes and fees on that $20,000 car, we're probably going to be somewhere around $28,000. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm wrong, y'all. I just pulled up the MSRPs on that car she's getting. It's $28,500. $28,500. She's paying a little over $10,000 to drive a $28,000 car that with taxes and fees would probably put her around $30,000. A little more, but let's just say you get a little discount, $30,000. She's paying. So if she bought this car, what would that car be worth in 3 years? What would that car, if she bought a $28,000 car, $28,000? Throw some numbers out there so we can really try to help Dario and the people who just, all right, may need us to go deeper on this. You might need me to go deeper on this. You might be like Dario, like, okay, Sean, I didn't grasp it. Let's go deeper on this. What would the car that she's getting, my niece is about to get for $28,000, $295 a month, what would that car be worth after 3 years? $28,000 car. KJ Wonder, it's in the bio. Just click that link in the bio and you'll see a link that says $24 welcome special. Go grab it and come on back to the stream. Anybody want to tap in? Thank you, DJ and Nice. I don't think that's right. So a $28,000 car after 3 years is worth 23? No. That's not after 3 years. That's probably like 1 year. After 1 year, it'll probably be worth 23. 15K depending on the brand. Paul, I think you're gonna lose more than. I don't know one car that sometimes like I don't know one car that depreciates $8,000 in 3 years. So I'm a conservative person when it comes to my numbers. That car is like, let's be real here. You don't buy a Hyundai Sonata, come back in 3 years, you paid $28,000 for it, come back in 3 years and they give you 20 for it. It's going to be more like $13,000, $15,000. What if you have an accident? You get what I'm saying? So, and unfortunately, you know what's hard about this? The only people who really understand depreciation and how much cars lose value are people who pay cash. It's very tough for you to see what you're really getting when you're a payment shopper. But as someone who never, listen, people would love to go into a dealership, get a car for $28,000, come back in 3 years and get $20,000, come back in 3 years, get $18,000. I only lost $10,000. That doesn't happen. That's why people come back in 3 years and they're like, that's all I'm getting? So the point is, she's paying $10,000 of depreciation over a 3-year period. That's it. So in order to beat what she's about to get, or people who are getting below market leases, any people who are getting below market leases like we teach, you would have to get at least $20,000 to beat her. You would have to get at least, because she's only spending $10,000 over 3 years. And sold by foreign. Guys, this is not, this is really not up for debate. I am, and unfortunately, maybe the pandemic threw you off, because some of you, if that was like your first car you ever replaced, and you went and you got out of that car during the pandemic when every car was worth $7,000 to $12,000 more than it should have been worth. You can't do that today. And we had people right after the pandemic writing me saying, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then I'll go and trade that and get all my money back like I just did before." No, that was a very rare case of limited supply, the supply chain of cars. Now we might see that again with tariffs. When tariffs come, we might actually see our cars appreciate, because the whole new car market is going to be more expensive. But cars are not, literally the depreciation curve on most cars are 15% the first year, sometimes 20, another 15% the second year, 10%, 5%, and then it gets smaller. Once you get to about 7 years, the depreciation starts to cool off. You're losing 50% of the value in the first 5 years. And if you drive a lot, you're going to lose it quicker. So when we look at paying a small amount of money for a expensive car, that's what leasing is. So there's no, when you, and let's wrap it up like this. If she would have bought this car, this same, because this is really a leasing versus buying lesson. And I don't know, however deep we need to go on it, that's how much deep we need to go until some people it clicks, because it may not click for everyone. I'm trying to make it as simple as I can, which is why I'm only talking about what's coming out of your bank account. Like, isn't that what we're supposed to care about? But for some reason, some of us are thinking about other things when it comes to cars. We go into somewhere else. So let's look at if she would have bought this same car, the same $28,000 car with taxes and fees, probably about 31 and change. But let's just round it off to 30. What's her car payment, everyone? Those of you who know the rule, every $5,000 is about how much per month on a loan? Every $5,000 is about how much on a loan? Now, every 5,000, thank you, DJ Ant Nice, you got it, $100. So again, these are videos that I make that, thank God, has been seen hundreds of thousands of times, some of them into the million. Every $5,000 is about $100 per month on a 5-year loan. Yep, you got it, Jamel. So what would this car cost her that was 30? Thank you, Tony, man. It would cost her $600 a month. So the same car that she's leasing for $295 a month would cost her $600 a month if she wanted to purchase it. Now let's throw one more scenario in there. Let's say she finds one for this price that yours truly said, about $18,000. She gets a 3-year-old used one. 3-year-old used car, good mileage on it, taxes and fees. She's a little over, let's round it off to $20,000. What's her payment? What's her payment for a 3-year-old used version of what she's getting new right now? $400. So where does it make sense to purchase at? Thank you, D-Boss. On TikTok, we see you. We are live. This is our Monday, May 12th live show. We're live from 12 to about 1:30 Eastern time, Monday through Thursday. Mark your calendars so you don't miss a show. 400. Where does it make sense at? I'm on my 7th lease. Where can you tell me that it makes sense at, unless you're one of the people, like, let's go back to Paul, who's keeping his next car 10 years. Let's go to, Paul on Facebook. Let's go to, who else we got? We got a bunch of people that said 8 to 10. Nope, not too many. That's why I read all of that, and I'm like, yo, all of you people should be leasing 10 years. Wait, nope. I can't find many of you who said you were going to be keeping more than 8 years. So where does it make sense at? That's 3 scenarios where we took the same exact car that she's about to get for $295 a month, brand new 2025. We said, okay, if she got the same deal on that new car, she'd be paying $600 a month for 5 years. If she took it for a 6-year loan, she'd probably get her payment down to $500, but that's for 6 years. And again, she's not keeping the car that long. So when she goes to replace it, she's probably going to have negative equity in 3 years, like most people. Come back, every single car transaction you do, oh, I'm replacing it. Oh, you got negative equity. Oh, dang, how? This is how. And then we took another scenario of her buying a pre-owned one, and her payment on a 3-year-old one with 1 year left of warranty is higher than her payment on the new one. Where does it make sense? Thank you, Tony, man. It doesn't. It doesn't. Listen, depends on the interest rate and the length of the loan. We always, this is an average interest rate. So it's not going to be, your interest rate isn't moving you from from every $5,000 on a loan being $100 a month to every $5,000 on a loan being, $50 a month. No, it's not the way it works. Good interest rate, maybe every $5,000 is $90, 85 tops. It's not 50, to the point where, and this is how people get in trouble. That's why our people don't get in trouble, because they don't go in looking at a $20,000 or $30,000 car saying, oh man, I'm gonna get that to $400 a month with no money down. Yeah, you'll get it $400 a month with no money down. Your loan's gonna be 96 months. So when we have these boundaries, this is how we move. We're not even talking about the bidding process. We're talking about the bidding process is how we get the dealers to give us the best prices. Right now, what we're talking about is structuring our deals, because if you go out and you get a great deal on a purchase, but you should have leased, you got a bad deal. You got a bad deal. If you go out and you get a great deal on a purchase, let's just say she gets $5,000 off this car. So instead of 30, she purchased it, she got them to knock off $5,000. Her payment still, instead of $30,000, it's $25,500 a month. Thank you, Just Enjoy, appreciate it. It's fine. So a great deal on a purchase, when you are not keeping the car 8 years, is a bad deal, because it cannot compare to if you had gotten a below market lease. It just doesn't compare. That's why I'm showing you these numbers. I'm a math person. I was in calculus as a junior. I love math. And my goal is to try to make the math simple by just showing y'all, hey, here's 3 scenarios: new car, used car, lease. Here are the numbers: $600 a month, $400 a month for the used car, $295 a month for the lease. But we say we want to save money. We say, oh man, things are getting more expensive. Money's important. But we're still letting old mindsets make us do things that don't serve us, because we were taught that, even though it makes no financial sense. So the hardest thing that I have to do is get you to unlearn what you have been taught. That's why I represent this brand, because I realize I can't do anything for you until you get rid of the bad stuff that you picked up. You didn't go to school and you were indoctrinated into, this is how they taught me to get cars, even though it makes no sense. It creates buyer's remorse. You leave the dealership hoping you got a good deal. I hope I did all right. You wouldn't bet a dime on it. If somebody came up to you, hey, would you bet money that you really didn't get a good deal? You would be like, oh no, I wouldn't take that bet. I don't. No, you have no confidence, no guarantees, nothing. And this is what people are still staying in. So when we talk, we're inviting you to the new way. We call it, this is the new way. And so everything that we're talking about, you can get in my literally my video, my step-by-step checklist, Cars from Home, 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealership. You don't have to worry about trying to remember this. You can literally get it in book form. It's a digital book. You don't have to wait for the mail. And the thing about the digital book is when something new happens, I update the book. Like a year ago, we had Room in the book. Room went out of business. If you had a physical copy that you had bought, now here I am talking to you about, oh, now guys, you got to get volume 2. No, I just went in, we update the master file, Room's going, process stays the same. So that's the thing. So it's normally $97, but as part of our book launch special, you can get your copy for $24, 75% off. It's a 2-hour only offer. So next 2 hours, if you visited, you'll see the timer. Once it gets to 0, the investment is $97, and it's worth every single penny. The return on that $97 will be incredible. But if you get there before the offer expires, you get yours for $24. So head to my TikTok bio, click that link, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. We have a link there for you. Grab your copy for 75% off. All right. All right, Dolan, let's go. We got time for a couple more questions. Okay, I'm shopping for a 2018 to 2019 Platinum Escalade. Should I buy in town, or what do you feel about delivery charges from out of town? I would compare. So it goes back to what we started talking about on the in the show when we first started. Total. This is why you need to know the original price. So when you know the original price, what you're looking at, and this is everyone who's shopping for a used car. Without knowing the original price, you're just grabbing at straws. You're buying based on made-up prices. You don't know. How do I know he's asking $65,000 for it? How do we know that's a good price? You don't. Buyer's remorse prone. Zero confidence in what you pay. But when we know the new price, oh, the original price of this one was $102,000. Original price of this one was $110,000. Original price of this one was $90,000. And when we get into more expensive cars, the losses become way more. To whom much is given, much is also required. So the losses on 80, 90,000, 200 Bentleys, Rolls Royces, the losses become multiplied dramatically. So if we knew, okay, this one was originally $102,000, they're offering this for $60,000. Oh man, they're giving me, $50,000, they're giving me 45% off. Oh man, this one right here was originally $90,000, but they're offering it to me for, $64,000. Well, they're only giving me 30% off. So you'll look, without knowing the original price, you're buying the wrong car because you're not buying based on value. You're buying based on made up prices. We think this is a good price in the market, but what is the discount off the new vehicle? That's the only thing. And then you use that and you say, okay, well, this one's giving me 45% off. It has 29,000 miles. This one's giving me 30% off. It only has 15,000 miles, and you can judge more accurately. You can judge accurately when you know real discounts versus nothing. So we must know how to get the new price. I mentioned it. Some brands have a agreement with Carfax. You can get it on the Carfax. Some brands have and some brands you can go to Google and Google the window sticker or the Maroni label, and you can get it that way. And then you'll see some companies that may sell it. But again, I'm never buying a used car without knowing the original price. And anyone who's listening to me and using the Cars from Home system, none of these people, Christy, look, none of these people, Milligan, Courtney, Melissa, Sheree, Ken, none of these people are buying a used car without knowing the price, the original price. That's how they get you. So when we look at what the price is with delivery, we're just factoring that in to the overall. So with the delivery, I'm still getting 42% off the original price. With the delivery, I'm still getting, so you factor all in cost compared to the original MSRP, and that tells you what the good deal is or what is not the good deal. And many of you, you're going to see, whoa, I've been buying used cars that really don't have, because you're going to pass on a lot of cars. Once you actually start using what we teach, it's an elimination system. It's a sorting process. We weed out the garbage. So a lot of the cars that you would have normally gotten thinking it was the good deal, you're going to see, whoa, if I didn't know this, I would have got that car, because that car is $2,000 less money online. But when I got the original MSRP, I see that this car has $20,000 more equipment in it. MSRP of this car was 105. MSRP of this car is 85. Whoa. And it might not be that dramatic, but sometimes especially on some luxury cars, it will be. It'll be that different. So this is how we gauge value. So when we pull off in the dealership, you see people, they send their numbers. You're going to be quick to write me. Man, I can't wait to write Deshone and tell him about this. I can't wait. Man, you're going to be just like all these other people, all these people we show. Rosalie, I can't wait to write him because I am confident in my deal now. Like, whoa, bro, I just got a used car. I got 48% off the original price. Man, confidence. Would you bet money that you couldn't have got a better? No, yeah, I bet money, man. I did my research, man. I stayed at home. I used the internet like you walked me through it. There was no better deal. I had to, and you know how I know? There's a couple signals that I look for. People will say, man, I had to drive an hour and a half to pick this thing up. I'm like, I know you did it right. People want that neighborhood dealer to be, oh, that's my dealer. You own it? No. Somebody did that. Hey, yeah, I work out with a guy at the gym. He came up to me one day. He said, yeah, because I went to my dealer the other day. And, they was telling me. So when I hear this, that just literally is like, oh, you own a dealership? Oh, no. I mean, you mean the dealer that sells you cars and services? Yes. Okay. See, it's just these are not our friends. People inviting their car salesmen to their barbecues. Start making them bid. Watch how quick you see Charlie is not coming to the barbecues anymore. You got your car salesman coming to the barbecues with you. Hey, how many cars? Oh man, this is Charlie. Charlie, let me introduce you to my neighbor Jane. Charlie's been selling our family cars for years. Charlie's like, yeah, hey Jane. Yeah, hey, listen, Charlie, how long we known each other? Well, I knew your grandfather first. Yeah, listen, Charlie, hey, watch you start one transaction where Charlie gets a message. Your message from online. Hey, this is Nicole Stewart. I'm looking for this car. We have all of these templates in my book too, so you don't even have to think about what you're going to write. You just copy and paste them. Hey, phone's going to be ringing for him. Now, we use a shopping email and a shopping phone number. We never give the dealerships our phone number. We don't want dealerships coming to our personal phone number. We use a Google Voice and we create a brand new Gmail. So you look and next thing you know, you're getting a phone call. Hey, Miss Stewart. Hey, Nicole. Calls you by your first name because, he knows your grandfather and everything. Hey, Nicole, I just got the email saying you wanted to get some you were shopping online. Like, what? Come on. So when are you coming in? You come on in. No, actually, I decided I'm going to get a couple offers. I just want to make sure. Now Charlie has to compete. Now Charlie has to compete. And you're going to see that Charlie doesn't like to compete. He likes to make you think he gives you a great deal. And what you're going to see is Charlie's not going to win that battle all the time. Now, sometimes they'll go to bat and say, listen, I just got to do. But if he works for an 80% dealer, they're not going to let him go low enough to sell the car to you and win the bid. They're not going to let it happen. He can't do it. And then Charlie, that'll be the last barbecue that Charlie came to. Last barbecue. Oh, man. So, wait a minute, Molly. Pull up Molly on Facebook's comment. Dolan, she just commented. We are live, y'all. This is our Monday, May 12th show. We do these shows from Monday through Thursday, 12 noon to about 1:30. So make sure you set your calendars and tell your friends and family, because they're out there shopping right now and they're getting their heads chopped off. I hope YouTube doesn't censor me for that, but they are. And if we were to look at their car deals compared to what our people are paying, you would be like, yo, they got. So pull up Molly's comment, please. Okay, there we go. After listening to you, okay, I got called in for another option of SUV I ordered, and boom, they had over $6,840 in options. Ceramic coating, tint, theft protection, yet they kept going down on the price but never removed it. I left. See, and this is, so there's two. One thing you did wise was to not take the deal. What I want you to get to is the point where people can no longer waste your time. When you get to a point, see, with all of you using the Cars from Home system in my digital book, it's impossible to have anyone waste your time. Because when they waste your time, they actually still feel like they won. I'm going to tell you why. We're going to sell this car to someone else, and you still need a car. So that's why that's a reason why who's heard wait till the end, this bad negotiating advice, wait till the end to tell them you have a trade. They know that they literally will do this whole negotiation. You've been in there for 3 hours, 4 hours. Now you spring your trade in on them, and they know, well, we don't have to give her what she wants. We don't have to give her $16,000. Yeah, offer her 14. Offer her 14. Because she's been in here negotiating back and forth. We already dropped our price a little bit. We still got profit we're making, but listen, let's try to make some of that back on the trade-in. All right, offer her 14. Now you've been in here and you're like, no, wait, I know I could get 16 for it. Listen, the car's worth 14. I mean, listen, if you could get 16, God bless. Now they're in a position of strength, because if you walk away, you still need a car. You've wasted hours of your time. And if you take the deal, they won. So it's like some people be like, man, because that's what they're thinking about. You know how many people say, Dad, all right, I know I feel like I could get 16, but do I really want to go through this all over again? All right, let's just do the deal. Lost. Didn't get the money for their trade-in, have no idea if they're getting a good price on the new car. They haven't gotten other offers. That's the car business. That's what 95% of people do. That's the car business. Leave thousands on the table. And now we can talk about the 3 pillars of great car deals, because that actually ties into what we're talking about here. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. Helping out the community. Listen, I help everybody willing to listen. I have the benefit of actually teaching something that is so effective. I get hundreds of people that write me and send me deals and get results. So I have a real-time gauge on how we're doing. Real time. Versus somebody who sells stuff, but they don't really care about the result. So you'll buy stuff and you're like, whoa, this is not the result I thought I was going to get. All we do is hold ourselves accountable to the results. And as long as we keep getting these emails in, as long as we keep getting people writing us, taking pictures, sending stuff, we know people out here getting the same types of deals that I would be getting. And that's what I want. I don't want anyone taking a deal that I wouldn't take. As somebody who's done thousands of transactions with Mercedes and General Motors, leased 7 cars. I'm the one my friends call. They've been calling me for 7 years, 8 years. Deshone, all right, man, I need a car. I'm good. Listen, this is what I do. And the way that we give them peace of mind is the comparison offers. You only have peace of mind with comparative offers. There's nothing else. That's why you can buy spaghetti sauce, and that's why you can buy a TV on Amazon in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Because you're going to go through, boom, okay, all right, let me check Walmart.com. All right, let me check this site. All right, let me check this site. All right, this one's the best. You spend $800, $400 in 15, 20 minutes. And not feel buyer's remorse because you've seen the options. Buyer's remorse comes from not seeing other options. It's that simple. All right, let's go. All right, Dolan, we got time for. All right, yeah, throw another one in, Dolan. Let's go. All right. Okay, 2015 Mercedes-Benz C-Class C300. Hey, wait a minute. R. Hunter Photography. Just got the book, and I'm looking forward to reading it. Congratulations. Everyone who got your book, just type book in the comment section. I just want to give you a shout out. Thank you so much for those. If you have the book or if you just got the book, just type book. Thank you so much, R. Hunter Photography. Appreciate you. Make sure you send me your success story. That's what I care, whether you buy, lease, or purchase. Even when you use the bank bidding war, show me, hey, yo, this bank was at this interest rate. This bank was at this interest rate. And then the dealer got me this. Write me all of that stuff. I love hearing all of that. Michael, good to see you. Michael McLaurin on TikTok. Thank you so much. Use it and win. Use it and win. I want that book to return to you $5,000 to $10,000 per deal. So every single time you do a car deal, that book should be returning to you $5,000 to $10,000 per deal. All right, 2015 Mercedes C-Class, 85,000 miles. What are you thinking? See, there's nothing there. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing there. You have nothing to compare it to. Now, here's the thing. We teach something in the book called, and we still got to go to the 3 pillars of great car deals again. But there's nothing, we teach something, there's no boundaries in car buying. There haven't been no boundaries. For example, let's talk about the most expensive purchase most people make. Now, in this case, sometimes it's people's cars because people aren't buying houses as much as they used to. But the most expensive purchase people make is their house. Would anyone on here get a 40-year mortgage? Anybody? Yes or no? Thanks, EJ. Enjoy the book. I can't wait to hear from you. Anyone? Would anyone get a 40-year mortgage? Anybody? We got smart people on here. Anybody signing up for the 40-year mortgage? No. Okay. So if no one's signing up for the 40-year mortgage, the question is why? Why? Because we know that's too long. If you got to take a 40-year mortgage, go. God bless you. Yes, go get you. God bless you. Hope she's well. And I'm glad you got your book there, Ariel. Would anyone, and you don't have to worry about reading it. It's a step by step. It's a checklist. So do one step, check that step off. Next step, check. Boom. That's how it is. Because there's a built-in. It's been built into our education. You don't take a mortgage longer than 30 years. And if you want to be super conservative and you can afford it, take a 15-year mortgage. But we don't go 40. We don't go 50. They're available. That's the same thing with 8-year car loans, 7-year car loans. And when we look at, so we have something called the rule of 72, which is 6 years. and the 10th birthday. What this says is you should never take a loan longer than 6 years, 72 months, and you should have the car paid off by the 10th birthday. Now, why? Because when I was in Mercedes, people who would come out is two people who hate, this is actually the same person. They hate Mercedes. They hate BMW. Why? Because they had an older one, no warranty, and they could not afford the maintenance and the repairs on top of the money they were paying for it. They hate it. You ever hear people say, oh, never buy that, man. I had one of those. It was a money pit. It was a money pit because you bought one that you wanted to shoehorn your way into the car. You couldn't afford the one that had the warranty, 3 years, 4 years old, buy an extended warranty, keep it 8, 9, 10 years, pay the car off in 5 or 6, and then you have, a couple years with no payment. You still have money to the side for your maintenance and your repairs when things go wrong. No, you bought one right from the start with no warranty because you wanted to be in a Mercedes. And they come out crying. You could just see it welling up in their eyes. We know, we've seen it too many times. That's a brand that people without any affordability index, they're going to buy cars that they cannot afford because they can afford the payment. And the saying is, if you can't afford to maintain it and repair it, you can't afford the car. So we never want a car that has a loan on it past the 10th birthday. That's an affordability gauge. That means I'm looking at a 6-year-old car. Car is 6 years old. 4-year loan. The amount of the number of years on the car, and this is in my book. Nothing I'm telling y'all is me coming off the top of my head or off the fly. I'm teaching you out of my book. That's what these shows are. I'm literally, when you are reading the book, I remember Deshone talking about this on the stream. Oh, I remember Deshone said this on the show. Everything I'm teaching you on the show is my book. So you can understand. I'm not winging any of this stuff. But when you look at the rule of 72 on the 10th birthday, it says the age of the car and the number of years on the loan should not go past 10. So if you're looking at a 5-year-old car, that already says my budget can only afford 5 years old. Like I can't get 4 years, 3 years old, which means I need a 5-year loan. If I'm looking at a 4-year-old car, I could do a 10-year loan. I mean a 6-year loan, because that's under 10. If I'm looking at a 3-year-old car, I can do a 6-year loan. 2-year-old car, 6-year loan. But if I'm looking at a 7-year-old car, 3-year loan. And what you're going to see is, wow, when I use that, Deshone, I see there's certain cars I can't afford. Correct. Correct. Because you can't afford the car to begin with if you need to get a 6-year loan on a 7-year-old car. Does that make sense? Type $signs if that makes sense. Type a $sign if you're getting this. Type a $sign and let me know you're getting this. Never heard of a 40-year mortgage. Exactly, Artelis on Instagram. I didn't hear about it until I started teaching this. Because the reason we created the rule of 72 on the 10th birthday is because we wanted to bring the same standards that they have in mortgages to the car business. There are people who only get a 3-year loan on a car or a 4-year loan on a car. That's like a 15-year mortgage, short-term mortgage. And then there's people who say, all right, I want to do a more average 5 or 6-year loan. That's your 30-year mortgage. But when you start going to 7-year loans, that's 84 months on a car, you're moving to like a 40-year mortgage. You are going past affordability. This is a sign. This is a red flag. I cannot afford this car. I cannot afford this car. Let me look at less car. Let me look at what I can sacrifice. We talked about that earlier. Can I sacrifice size? You don't usually want to do that unless you're getting a car that's just big for no reason. Oh, I just like big cars. Well, you might not want to get a big car in this time. You might want to go smaller. But never get a car that doesn't cover your needs in terms of size. What you really want to look at is amenities. All right, I don't need the big sunroof and the leather and all of this stuff. You know what? Let me go to the next amenities down. Class. So you're like, oh man, I'm used to driving Lexus. I'm used to driving Mercedes. I'm used to driving Genesis. I'm used to driving Infiniti, Acura. No, maybe you got to go down to the next class. You'll save $5,000-$7,000 going to a lower class of vehicle. These are the things that you want to be looking at. This is how you want to approach. This is how you don't. This is how we win. This is how you understand your car transactions versus just like, all right, time to get a car. Can you just do this for me, Mr. Person who I know is going to make money on me, and it's your job to make money and they're going to fire you if you don't make money on me? Could you just get me the best deal possible? No. DJ EJ, thank you. Ray, getting value out of it. I see you. Awesome. Deshone, how much should we try to negotiate out the door? That's a bidding process. See, that's a feeling for, we don't worry about that. I'm going to tell you why. Some deals, their best deal is going to be $10,000 off. Some cars, the best deal is going to be $5,000 off. Give you an example. In some deals, the best deal is going to be, you're not ready for this, almost $30,000 off. Now, let me show you each one. So when you look at, where's Tiffany? So Tiffany, no, that's Chris. Hold on. That's Kanika. Oh, wait a minute. All right, let's go to the. So the question you're asking reflects normal negotiation, which is we're feeling for the bottom. We don't really know where the bottom is. We're feeling for the bottom. And you're feeling for the bottom, it's a losing strategy because you don't know how deep, you don't know how low the bottom is. When you feel like in your gut, okay, I think this feels like the bottom, you take the deal. Losing strategy. Because the bottom is different for everyone. So you look at somebody like Sean. Sean gets 15, he bought an F-150 Lightning. He got, with the discount from the dealer and the hidden money, unadvertised rebates, over $20,000 off his F-150 Lightning. Over $20,000 off. Now, you look at somebody who, let's see if we can find Kimberly. Kimberly, when she got her Maserati, I love just keeping Kimberly up because she's like, you know, she got over $20,000 off her brand new Maserati when she got it, even though it was last year. But I want to look for a smaller deal. So I think I might have took Tiffany's down. Hold on. Because Tiffany got a Mazda. Hold on. I used the strategy in your book. Hold on. Tiffany got a Mazda, and when she got her bids, her best offer was $6,300 off. That was the best offer on that car. But she had other offers that were $3,000 off, $2,000 off, sticker price, over sticker. That was $63,000 off, $6,300 off. Then you look at somebody like Milligan. Milligan got the biggest discount I've ever seen in my life. She got a $79,000 car. She got her bids, and she got almost $30,000 off. It's $79,000. She paid $51,359. Brand new car. Brand new car. Brand new car. So do you see that if we're trying to feel for the bottom, let's say you think, all right, $3,000 off. I guess that's a good deal. You're getting beheaded. So we cannot feel for the bottom. That is buyer's remorse prone. That is how we have buyer's remorse. The only thing we do is we sit at home, we get bids. That's the name of the game. When you are getting bids, life changes. You now know, oh, this deal is taking off 8. This deal is taking off 2. This deal is taking off 8. This deal is taking off 10. This deal is taking off nothing. Oh, the $10,000 dealer wins the bid. You took off $10,000. That was the bottom. And again, we use the 25-to-5 strategy where I show you how to connect with 25 dealers in 20 minutes from home. You get your bids. You want to call around, do it by phone, call and get your bids by phone. We do this by email without talking. That is what's in my book. That's how we do it. So everything we talked about is in my new digital book. Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Normally $97, part of our welcome offer. You get your copy for $24. That's 75% off. In my TikTok bio, click that link. My Instagram bio, click that link. Or YouTube comments in the Facebook comments, deshonsbook.com. 2 hours, get your $24 and let that continue to make money for you and keep money in your family. We didn't talk about. We didn't talk about selling leases and equity in leases. We didn't talk about the bank bidding wars. We didn't talk about, we dig deep on leasing versus buying. We hit on a lot today. Now, for those of you who are like, Deshone, I'm just meeting you, I don't really trust you yet, then start with my free cheat sheets. Dolan will put a link for you. You can go to DeshonesCheatSheets.com, put a link in the comments, and just start with my free cheat sheets. We've given thousands of people have started with my free cheat sheets. That'll expose you to the Cars from Home world, because once you see the value, like, wow, this is what Deshone's giving us for free. What is in the book? The book is your step-by-step checklist, step-by-step blueprint. But if you're like, you know what, let me just get started with the cheat sheets, go grab the cheat sheets. Now, mark your calendars. We're here Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Show usually lasts about 90 minutes. You can bring your questions. You might be watching this on a replay, because you'll see a lot of people ask the same question you would have asked. But mark your calendar so you don't miss a show. We'll be back, and then we'll run the whole replays all through the weekend for those who couldn't be here during the week. So I might start doing something for people who bring people. Write me some ideas, because what I really want is I want to come up with something, a way to reward people who share. That's why I wanted to give a free copy of my book to our nurse on TikTok. You know, like, I want to come up with something for people that bring people, that help me actually spread this message. DM me some ideas, and I'll watch that. I can't read all the DMs, but I will certainly start that DM with, you know, I have an idea, and then I'll know that's you, because I want to come up with something specifically for the people who share. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. This has been our show. Congratulations to everybody that got the book. Make sure you send me your success stories. Email me when you get your cars. I want to hear all about it. All right. God bless you.